All right. There's that. And there is that. Just getting things set up to the Discords. Who booped me? Oh, that's just Twitch.
Hi.
Hi. New prompt.
Fair warning, I have like not a ton of battery, so if I disappear unexpectedly, that would be why.
Got it.
I love that. It's a good prompt.
We already have a request. Yippee! Hi, can I get your age and pronouns, please?
Yeah, sure. 22, he, him.
Yeah, so do you disagree with the prompt that transgender healthcare seems to be some sort of more crisis, but still cisgender healthcare is seen as like a basic human right?
Well, that's not why I disagree with the prompt, but I
Oh.
can respond to it if you'd like.
Yeah, or if you disagree, whatever. Just whatever.
Yeah, I think generally why people have skepticism surrounding like trans healthcare is particularly surrounding like the inability for people under the age of 18 to give meaningful informed consent to cosmetic surgeries or lifelong sterilization, mutilation, things along those lines.
I actually don't think that children can consent at all, and adolescents can't either under most circumstances. It would be considered medical assent, not consent. It's kind of different in the way that like you can go against medical consensus when you're an adult. You can't really do that as easily when you're like an adolescent. You would need like your parents' approval to go against medical like consensus most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with any of that.
Yeah, so it's no different when we're talking about things such as like giving individuals hormones and stuff. It's like it would be like medical, recommendation to do this. There's no every major medical organization agrees that with the affirmative model, including for adolescents.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm more specifically talking about like gender affirming double mastectomies performed on minor. I think when we're taking it to that extent, then that becomes violation of the children's informed consent because when we're taking away that person's like literal reproductive anatomy in some capacity, I think that when we're doing that on the basis of a subjective identity claim that's fluid and not necessarily persistent, I think that becomes problematic.
Okay, I love that you use the word persistent actually, because first of all, within adolescence, anybody below the age of 18, it's very rare that they would have access to any gender affirming surgeries. And like that would be at the request of the patient, the parent, and the doctor. Like you all have to be on the same page about that. Like let's say you graduate and you're 17 years old and you plan on going to college at a place that's not anywhere near your surgeon, but you finished fully like physically developing, so it is like a physically safe surgery to do. Then a 17-year-old might get a top surgery. That's very rare. And again, like I explained, situational. And you use the word persistent. You also use the word fluid, which that's kind of not the case. So there isn't a fluidity in the way that you're speaking about it. Doctors and like psychologists, mental health professionals that are working with each patient are looking for three things. One is insistence, another is
Persistence,
consistence, and
consistency.
then
Yeah,
the
I know.
last one is
I've heard
persistence.
it. Yeah,
Exactly.
those three conditions are not going to
So
grant the ability for somebody who's under the age of 18 to give meaningful, informed consent to a surgery that will permanently remove or alter their reproductive anatomy. I think it's interesting that you actually use the words "it generally doesn't happen" or "it usually doesn't happen." Obviously, that's a pretty clear admission that it does happen and that there are gender-affirming double mastectomies being performed on people under the age of 18. Regardless of the circumstance that you gave, like somebody who's moving away for a surgeon, right? It's still It's a 17-year-old who can't give consent to that. So I don't think that circumstance provides an example for a reasonable exception to that.
Hold on.
Let's say I'm 17 and 364 days old. What is the difference between that day and when I wake up the next morning on my 18th birthday? What is my mental capacity? How has it changed?
It's just going to be you're an adult, so, right? We have to set a threshold at some point for somebody who's able to give those decisions about
Can you answer
themselves.
my
And so setting,
question?
yeah, I'm answering. So
what's
when you're 18
changed?
years old, that's going to be the average of your psychological maturity level and your physical maturity level.
No,
It's
that's
the
not what I
average of those
asked
two
you.
ages.
You said you're answering, but that's not what I asked you. What is the difference?
Well, I'm explaining how we set the threshold for somebody who's
That's
able
not
to
what I
give that.
asked. Did I ask what is the threshold? Or why do we have the threshold?
You asked what changes between the night that you're before you're 18 and when you are 18.
Exactly. Can you answer that question, please?
Yeah, so no matter when we set the threshold, there's going to be a date of transition, and you can ask that
Mhm.
question regardless of the date that is chosen, right? So
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Yeah, and I don't
But
think
I'm
that I would
asking what's the difference? Can you please tell me what the difference is?
yeah,
In their
sure, a
mental
minor
capacity?
cannot give informed consent, and a person who is not a minor can give informed consent.
Yeah, so like I said, that
So
we're not
nothing's
relying.
changed. You
Hold on,
won't answer, but
Cole.
nothing changes. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we probably all agree that there's not like much of a huge mental difference. Agreed.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, but like,
Oh my god, he answers the host, but not me. I'm sorry for
well,
interrupting again.
no,
It's
I
just-
asked a.
Well,
I
the
asked
host
a
was actually
different
able to
question.
interpret what I was hinting at or getting
Yeah.
at what I was saying, right? So it's the
You can't be
interpretation. It's not
direct? Is that a
necessarily just the
problem?
answer there, Cole. By the way, Cole, I just want to say that it's incredibly evident from your voice that you are a female person. I think it's interesting that I can tell that just by...
I think it's
What does
interesting
that have to do with
yeah.
jack shit?
I think it's interesting that you bring that up
you're
in the
using
first
a masculine.
place.
You've adopted a masculine name. You're deepening your voice. You're taking these wrong for your sex hormones. I just want to let you know that
don't
even
know
through a
if I'm
screen,
on T
I can absolutely
or
tell that you
not.
are a female person. I think that's just
Wrong
interesting
or
to point out.
atypical?
What does this have to do
Hormones.
with shit?
Cole, are you a female person? Yes or no?
What does this have to do with it? And then
Yeah,
No,
I
you're
might
the one not
answer
answering
you.
the question. I just want
Well,
to
yeah, this
highlight
is
you're
just like
complaining
a
about not
this is like
answering
a neck
questions. and
I'm
snapping
not
then you're
asking
up here
you, hey,
denying
what,
something
what
about yourself that
sex
is
were you
objectively
assigned
true,
at
right?
birth?
Are you a female or are you not a female?
Well,
Cole?
what
I
does this
did
have to do
not
with
ask you
anything?
these
Well,
kind
see,
of
now
personal
you're not
questions, so
answering the
why are
question.
you
So when you
asking
say,
me
why
does
aren't
it
you answering the
matter?
question, it's not going to hold any weight because you're not able to answer questions
Wait,
yourself when
Cole.
it comes to things
I
that
can
are...
answer lots of questions.
Are you a
Just I
female, Cole? Yes or
won't
no?
answer
Are you a
that
female
question for
person?
you.
Cole, hey,
I
are you a
won't.
female? Yes or no?
I'm not asking for your medical health
Okay, so I'm not
information.
answering
Why
any
the
further
fuck do you
questions from
think
Cole
you go
because of
around
the
asking
refusal
other
to
people
ask
for
questions while
theirs?
simultaneously demanding that the
You
questions they ask
genuinely
are
think that
answered
this is
directly and in a
appropriate to
manner that is
do?
unreasonable, while simultaneously not
You
answering questions
genuinely think
themselves
this
Hold
is
or
on, hold
herself.
on.
appropriate to
Let's
do?
say,
Everybody
as a
chill.
female
Everybody
person.
chill. Okay, so what does their gender or sex have to do with anything?
Oh, yeah, I'm highlighting the inability to answer questions given that this person has said that
No,
I have failed to
I'm
answer their
questioning
question
its
when I have provided
relevancy.
an answer.
It
And so I'm
doesn't
kind of highlighting
matter.
the fact that...
It doesn't matter, does
Sorry.
it?
It does matter in this context because I'm highlighting their inability to answer a direct question while simultaneously demanding that other people answer their questions in a way that fits the way
Yeah,
that
you're asking
deem them to
personal
be answered.
questions, not like
Wait.
opinion questions. This is you're asking.
I wouldn't
about,
say
like,
being a
personal
male or a
thing.
female is incredibly
Also-
personal, given that it's something that I can tell through the voice of this person
Well,
without
there's
seeing
their-
them, without being in their presence. Like I can just tell that from their voice, right? It's not incredibly personal. That is a
Can I
female
just-
person, right?
Yeah, but the thing
Don't
is,
fucking
also-
answer this bitch. You don't get to know.
Yeah, see,
other
Cole, you're
people's
saying you need to answer the question. Now you're
medical
saying, do not answer
information.
this person.
I don't know
answer.
why
I'm
you
just kind
feel
of highlighting
entitled
this.
to this shit, but like you just need to hush. And if you ask another question, let it not be other people's medical information
Why not
because
just
that's
say you're a
fucked up.
female person? Like, just we can move on from this if you just say yes, I'm a female person.
Do you
and we can
agree
get
that
back to the
that's asking
conversation.
somebody for their medical health information?
Do you understand that I already know that you're a female person?
Yes
Like,
or no?
How do
yes,
you know
I know
it?
you're a female person.
That's not what I asked. Again,
Yeah. So
all
wait,
you do
have
is
you?
dodge.
Did you see them as like a baby? Is that how you know their sex? How do you
No.
actually know this information? Are you just inferring? Because
No,
you could
it's
be
the way that they're
wrong.
answering these questions, it's the incessant kind of running away from the question and denial. It's clearly a female person, right? They haven't said yes or no.
Oh, it's the running from the question in denial that makes you think that I'm
Well,
a
it's the
female
testosterone
person.
voice. It's
Got
it's
it.
the female
Good job.
mannerisms with the
Actually,
testosterone fried
here's a
female
great.
voice. It's
Solid. Go ahead, Solid. What were you gonna say? I think
I was gonna say one. He keeps saying it's an inability to, even though it's not an inability to. As Cole clearly had the ability to, but chooses not to disclose such information that is personal to. The
well, it's
medical
fine. I already know
records.
the answer. That's all good.
And even if you know or not, again, what is the relevance? And
Well,
don't go
the
on about
relevance of the question initially
because
was to demonstrate an inability of this person to answer a question while
yes,
simultaneously
yeah,
demanding
but
that their
you could
questions were
you
answered
could
in a way
ask
that they
any
saw consistent with
yeah,
their.
but realistically, you could ask any other question that Cole wouldn't know the answer to. Then, so
Well, it
why
was
that
the first
specific
question I
question?
asked to demonstrate this points, and we immediately saw an inability to answer. So I think
It's not an
You don't see
inability,
the
though.
symmetry breaker? Sorry, go ahead, Solid.
I was going to say it's not an inability, which I think is quite funny.
well, if they're going to demand that their questions are answered and then don't
I don't
foster
do-
that same kind of.
Well,
Sorry.
none of us are
okay,
asking you
other,
personal
other,
questions,
other.
though. That's the difference.
No. Hold up, still. I've got
Being
something.
female is not a very
Hey,
personal
other,
question.
other.
Like,
It
Other.
can
sorry
be.
to say that, but
Being
Although,
female is
would you
not a
like to
very
gi-
personal question. What
No,
on earth?
Hold up. Other, can you give me your personal home address, please? And your personal phone number and full legal name?
yeah, sure. 1435 Prince
Holy
of
shit.
Wales. Yeah. Sorry,
Why are you just doxing yourself? That's a silly idea to do.
Bro,
Do we need to mute that shit? Because, like, whoa.
It's
I
self-doxing.
I didn't even finish. I didn't give the city. I didn't give the full name. Let's go.
Well, yeah, but that already narrows it down enough.
Okay,
Buddy,
fair enough.
I was trying to get you to not answer that so I could prove the point of it being a quote-unquote inability to
Okay,
answer.
so then
You
I
have
answer.
the
So now can
ability
you
to
ask Cole if
answer.
they're a female person or a male
Yeah,
person?
so
and
do you
use
think
that
that
to
it's
demonstrate your
reasonable?
point.
Hold on. Do you think it's reasonable if you ask somebody their personal address for them to give it out? Like,
I
just
don't
to-
think so,
just-
but I think in the
Oh,
context
okay.
of a discussion about sex and gender, it's not imperative to disclose your sex, but at least to not deny that question as unreasonable, I think is.
Well, what I can say is
appropriate.
that like they don't reject their biological sex. I know that for a fact. So I
Well, they
understand
reject to
that,
disclose it in any capacity, despite being
No,
evidently
in any
female
capacity,
from their
whoa.
testosterone fried voice, and
I don't really
I
care
love how you just like
what's
to
in
speak
somebody's
about other
pants
people
at the
that
end
you
of the day.
literally don't know. Just go ahead, put words in my
I
mouth.
know that you're female.
Build up a person, this imaginary
Build
person
you up
in
as
your
a
head.
female. Yeah, I imagine that you're a female. Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder what he. Nah, my question is, what would he take a guess at from me? 'Cause I think that would throw him off quite a lot.
I was thinking that a while
you're
ago.
honestly not clear. It's Cole's voice that's incredibly clear that that's a female person. Solid. I have no idea.
Oh yes, and my voice isn't clear at all in
Well,
any
no,
capacity.
a voice isn't a direct indicator of whether someone's a male or a female or not. No, I never said that. Said that in the context of Cole, somebody who's like using a masculine name and clearly trying to present masculine in a like a pseudo feminine way is it's fairly clear.
Okay. Yeah, it still doesn't like have any relevance to the prompt, does it?
Well, it has relevance to when Cole was demanding that I answer a question in a way that was consistent with her expectation of
Are we
how that
gonna
was
be on
answered,
this for the
and then
next
was
20
unable to
minutes?
answer a
Like,
question in any capacity when it comes
we've
to
been
her
going in
objective sex
circles, and we
category.
told you the symmetry breaker, and you just don't seem to care.
Yeah, this is like considered somewhat personal question or personal like semi-personal question at the end of the day.
Yeah,
This isn't
God
like
forbid, right?
yeah. So but what was the question that Cole even asked in the first place? This
I
this
asked
just
about
seems
the
like a
difference
pivot.
between being the day before you turn 18
Oh
and the day that.
yeah.
That's all I asked. It was completely relevant to what we were talking about at the point.
Yeah,
The question was asked in a manner to justify the double mastectomies performed, the gender-affirming double mastectomies performed
All
on
I
people
asked
under
is
the age of 18 years
what's
old.
the difference? That's all I asked.
okay, yeah, but I think that we remember that, like, I don't know if you remember me saying, but, like, I don't think a 13-year-old can give, like, medical consent. They can maybe give medical assent.
Great,
in
so why
certain
are we giving
circumstances.
gender-affirming double mastectomies to people who are 15?
Yeah, because it's medical consent. They're not giving consent to it. It's medical assent. It's different.
Okay, so it's not medical they're not giving consent to it, but it is, right? Is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Because
so
of the medical
it's not
assent?
just the...
I understand I just own yes or no. It is okay that we're giving gender-affirming double mastectomies for 15 years old, even
Oh,
if
so
Yeah,
you
they're
can
medical
ask for
because
yes
consent.
or no's, but you can't give the answer of yes
Cole,
or
you
no?
can't answer male or female. You can't answer one or another. I don't know.
Well, yeah, so, like, this is okay because it's seen as, like, a medically necessary thing to do.
It's
We
medically
understand-
necessary to chop the breast off of 15-year-old girls with gender
Yeah, at
dysphoria.
least-
Okay, that's really all I need to hear. I
It-
appreciate
it
your straight up
leads
answer.
to better like expected life.
yeah,
outcomes.
better
That's
life
not
long
what he
out. Yeah.
said was okay or good. Why are you putting words in the host's mouth now?
Do you think that it's okay to remove breast tissue from somebody who has like breast cancer? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Gynecomastia, breast cancer, absolutely. Yeah, these are
well,
like
gynecomastia, there's no like medical reason.
well, I still would agree that that is an appropriate surgery too.
Why? It's just because they'll make the person feel more comfortable in their own body. But all of a sudden, when it happens to
Well,
a
yeah,
trans
you didn't
person,
specify that it was to be
oh,
performed on a
yeah,
minor.
but this is the exact reason why I have this prompt.
I think a
This
trans
is like
person
some
can get
sort of
whatever
moral
surgery they want once they're
crisis.
18. That's
Yeah,
fine
so
once
this is
they're
like some
18.
sort of moral crisis for transgender individual, but you have no problem for cisgender individuals having the same exact surgery done.
Nope, because once again, I said if once they're 18, it's more than fine. It's their choice to do so, whether they're trans, whether it's gynecomastia. It's either way. It's
Well,
their
yeah,
choice.
but you're fine with like a 15-year-old male who has gynecomastia having top surgery, right?
Oh, okay. Now we're shifting the goalposts. I never said anything about a minor. I said that surgery is okay for somebody to get, whether it's gender affirming or medically necessary. I didn't say anything about that person being under the age of 18 years old.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna ask you then bluntly. Do you think a male that's 15-year-olds who has gynecomastia it should be allowed to have top surgery done so that he can feel like he's living like a fulfilling life?
What do you mean by top surgery?
Yeah, so double mastectomy, essentially.
Is that what it's called when it's performed for gynecomastia? Is it called a double mastectomy?
Well, I would just
No, it's called top surgery.
Well,
It's
no, that's
called,
why I'm highlighting the
God,
Yeah,
inconsistency
I'm just
because
calling it top
it's not
surgery.
considered a
It's
double mastectomy when you're performing it on a male person with gynecomastia. And so the host inconsistency there is going to be the same.
Listen,
Sorry,
listen,
Cole,
other,
Cole.
listen,
I know you
other-
want to act like a man and act
I will
masculine, but
literally just. Okay, thank you. So literally, it is called the same thing because it is the same medical procedure when males with gynecomastia receive this care as when females or AFAB people receive the same care
you're an
for
AFAB person,
gender
you won't
affirming
admit it,
care.
so I'm not listening to anything.
Oh, okay. Wait, correction. It's a manoplasty at that point. It's
Right, and so when you were
Wait, give
conflating
me
that
one
with the
s-
double
give me
mastectomy
one
and making that
second.
conflation, I was just highlighting the inconsistency, which is
if-
why I asked you that clarifying question of is.
So I really just need 1 second.
Sorry, Cole,
if
shut
he's
the
not
fuck
going
up.
to
Shut
listen
the
to
fuck up.
me,
Stop
can we
mute.
just not listen to
Yeah,
him?
Cole is
He
deluded.
just
Cole the
chose
deluded.
not to listen to somebody
I don't know why this
who's
deluded
trying
people
to educate him
talk over a person.
Yeah,
and,
but
and
I-
thinks that this is okay.
okay. I
Yeah,
only needed you
the
because
person in the comments, right? The vocal fry is absolutely abhorrent there, Cole. What are you doing?
okay. So we can agree that it's a different type of surgery.
What am I doing? Oh, I'm
But-
speaking.
But
Right, you're speaking over somebody who's trying to advocate against performing double mastectomies on minors and highlighting the fact that the host thinks that removing gynecomastia on somebody who's a male person is considered a
That
double
wasn't even
mastectomy.
me,
I think
thank
that's
you.
pretty clear that person
okay.
isn't
So
very
it's
informed when it comes to
it's reduction
so-
manoplasty. I corrected myself. Do you
Right.
think that a
So do you
15-year-old
correct
male?
yourself, or do you concede the argument that that's not called
I'm
Wait,
just
double
no,
mastectomy
what's it
when it's
called
performed on a male
when
person?
trans people
Yeah,
get this
it's not
gender
called.
affirming
Hold
care?
on.
Cole, shut the fuck
Is it called
up,
the
Cole.
same
Shut
thing?
up,
Because
shut
that
up.
was the point that I made.
It's a little bit different.
Right,
I
so
think.
Cole, I was
it
having a
seems.
conversation
Is
with
it
hosts about
like
whether or not it's
medically
double mastectomy
called
when we perform.
a different thing, or is it
Sorry,
the same?
Cole. You got to stop.
Is it breast reduction for a cisgender individual and a transgender individual?
No,
Sorry,
I
I'm
don't
really
think
gonna
so.
need
They're
the clear
different
answer to the
surgeries.
question there. Is it going
Can
to
you
be?
shut up while I'm trying to learn, please?
You can learn
Like,
as a female. There's
it's
nothing
not
wrong with
all
that.
about you. It's not all about you, bitch.
Right, it's something about you as a female as well. I agree.
Can you please let me
No
know
worries.
if those are
Yeah.
if it's called the same thing with males with gynecomastia as it is with trans?
No, because it's the
people
crux
getting
of the
gender
argument, and host can.
I'm literally, that's what I've been asking from the get. That's
And I've been asking if you're a female from the get.
inappropriate questions. Yes, you've been asking those from the get. We get this.
I am seeing what the actual name is called for top surgery.
I don't even need the real name. I just need you. That it's not a
Let's-
double mastectomy.
Okay, yeah, it's
Let's
not
let
a double
That's
mastectomy.
all I need to
Yeah,
hear.
I'm fine
Go
that
ahead.
it's not a double mastectomy. I'm fine. It's top
Okay,
surgery.
I appreciate that. And you did make the conflation that was.
Yeah, and that's my bad. But you understand what I'm saying. They're getting surgery done to
Okay,
the
I
chest.
appreciate the concession.
Correct.
Oh, Croc, W, Croc,
Wait,
W,
you
Croc, W,
found the
Croc.
medical name for it? Because it's not top surgery.
Yeah, well, so I don't know what it's actually for transgender individuals. But
So I could be
I
right.
can't be.
Did he run?
Oh,
I'm just
I
trying to
didn't drop
learn
him.
some things and make sure that the audience can learn some things too. I also did not drop him.
I didn't
but
either.
it's a lot more peaceful up here now.
Yeah, it's called a subcutaneous mastectomy, by the way.
Got it.
Oh, so
So
it's a
it's
type of
it's still
mastectomy,
yeah, it's
but
a type
not
of
for
mastectomy.
men? For
Yeah,
males, you mean?
it's still going to be a mastectomy. It's a type of mastectomy. Any kind of removal of breast tissue is going to be a mastectomy. Double mastectomy specifically in reference to removing cancerous tissue. It is very, I don't want to say a crude surgery, but it is crude in comparison to a subcutaneous mastectomy, which would take a significantly more time and effort to retain the appearance of the breast tissue to make it masculinized. And
That's
actually,
why
like,
I
look
didn't think it was
cosmetically.
a mastectomy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's just a subcutaneous mastectomy. Basically,
Makes sense.
yeah, it's a type of mastectomy.
And then it's called something else when males with gynecomastia get it, or it's still a removal of breast tissue?
I'm pretty sure it's still a subcutaneous mastectomy, but
Oh,
let me
what do
double
you
check.
know? The
I-
claim I asked about was right.
Yeah, I can't
Maybe.
imagine they're called different things if it's like the same
Yeah,
thing
for
being
real.
done. Like if we're just removing breast
Literally.
tissue, it's what, like if it's different breast tissue, maybe I don't know. Like I don't really care. It's still surgery. Like I just see it in the same field. Like what breast tissue versus all breast tissue. Like I still think that's like there's not probably a huge difference.
Well, even if there isn't a difference, like I was under the impression that it's called the same thing because they still shape the chest in the
Oh.
same way when people with gynecomastia are getting it.
It's
and
not. It's a
Okay.
reduction mammoplasty. A reduction
Okay.
mammoplasty is also done on cis women though. So
Oh.
anytime, like it's the same. It's under the same diagnostic code as a breast reduction. So it's
Got
not it's not complete breast tissue removal, but it would be considered a reduction. So yeah,
Okay.
reduction mammoplasty.
Similar. Got it.
Thank you. That's helpful to know.
Yeah, it's the same no matter what sex you're on. It's just you have to keep in mind like gynecomastia surgery isn't like a complete removal. It's just a significant reduction.
Got it.
Indeed.
That guy wasn't very smart and just kind of crashing out. I muted him from the comments because it was really funny.
I said
think
I
you
don't know
guys-
who that was,
can
but
I-
thank you. It was hilarious.
I think you guys, what it's called, I don't think you guys really wanted to call it what it's really called up here because I just looked it up while you guys were talking.
Well,
It's
what is-
called top surgery or FTM, female to man.
Well, I
That's,
did say
No.
top
that's
surgery.
not the actual. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not the actual diagnostic code. Like for
Okay,
example, like
it's called FTM, female to
yeah.
man.
So for example, right, a bottom surgery for a trans woman, we call
You don't
that
have
just
to go, you
bottom.
don't have to explain it. It's just female to man.
Yeah, so I do have to explain it because you're obviously not
Okay.
tracking. So what? That's
I
like
am
the
tracking.
colloquial.
I just
So
looked-
that's
I just
that's a
looked it up.
colloquial name. That's like what we call it outside the medical field. But inside of the medical field, it's going to be called subcutaneous mastectomy. Just like bottom surgery for trans women, we call that bottom surgery or sex reassignment surgery. But the actual name
It's
for
not
that is
called
going
a
to be
mastectomy because
Yeah,
I
so
had
the
a double mastectomy.
yeah. So
And
the
I just
actual
looked it up.
can you stop interrupting me? So the
But
actual
you're
name for
wrong.
so the actual name for that surgery for like a trans woman, for example, would be called a vulvoplasty with a vaginoplasty. That's what the name of the surgery would be. So yes, for a trans man, it would be a subcutaneous mastectomy.
It's not a mastectomy. It's FTM, female to man. Top surgery or female to man.
Yeah, can you
FTM.
show me where in any medical ICD code
can
that is the
Google
name
it.
of a surgery, female
You
to
can
male top
Google-
surgery?
You can Google what it's called.
You're muffled, and
Yeah,
I'm
the
sorry.
like
isn't
I
source.
recommend looking up what it actual
I did
medical
look it up.
terminology is, because that's not medical terminology. FTM top surgery is not medical terminology. It'd be subcutaneous mastectomy.
Yeah, it's more like
I'm calling it
general
FTM.
lingo.
Yeah, like that's how we talk about it outside the medical field, but it's going to be a subcutaneous
So why don't y'all
mastectomy.
say that up here?
Well,
I
I did
mean,
say
like
top
that.
surgery. To be fair, I did
You
say
didn't
top
say
surgery.
FTM though.
Well,
It doesn't matter.
we were talking about males with gynecomastia and females who are transgender.
Okay.
Like
What
this
is? I just wanted to ask. What is cisgender healthcare?
yeah. So it's just like it would be breast reduction, or
Breast reduction is for if your breast is too big and your back starts hurting.
yeah, or
I
like
mean, that's
if
not the only reason,
gynecomastia.
but,
I would consider
It's
like
what?
breast reduction from
I'm a woman, so I
gynecomastia
know.
would be
okay, cool. Just because
cisgender.
you're a woman doesn't mean you know everything. What?
I know about people that get breast reduction and people that get breast implants. I know.
Yeah,
about
so
that.
it's not only for back pain. There's a lot of reasons why someone could get a breast reduction.
You get a breast reduction because it causes, after a while, the older you get, it causes like back pain. It causes things to happen, pain. The breast actually will
Yeah,
actually
that
start
is
hurting itself. the breast will actually start hurting itself. So a lot of women that once they get older, and then once they have kids, it'll get worse. So after a while, once they get older, they really want these surgeries. So
Yeah,
I
I
do
don't, I
know.
don't, I don't
You
think you
can't
know how
tell
these
me
surgeries work. So that is one
that
reason
is how
why
surgery
that
works.
is one reason why someone might get a breast reduction
I just
surgery.
said a
There are
couple of
th-
reasons.
no, that's pain is one reason. You
Okay, I
just
just
said
said a couple
pain.
of reasons. I also said that once you have a child, they get heavy. They get really, really, really heavy. They get
That's
really,
pain.
really heavy. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
what I'm
pain.
saying. So
Yeah, so you're
most
saying
women,
your reasoning boils down to pain. There are
but
other reasons other than pain. People get breast reduction just for aesthetics sometimes too.
no, they don't. Nobody wants
Yes, they do. I
not
personally
many
I
women.
know cisgendered women who got breast reductions just for aesthetics. The fuck are you talking about?
No, you see. This is why you shouldn't be talking about these things. You probably know women
What?
who got a breast lift. They got a reduction and a
No,
lift,
they got a reduction. They went
and
from
they
an
got a
E cup
lift
to a
too.
B
You don't
cup.
just okay. When you get a reduction, you also get a lift. Do you understand that?
Okay, but you still get the reduction.
Okay, I'm just letting you know you get a lift.
Yeah,
You still get the reduction.
71,000.
lift also.
So,
What the fuck? Are you unable to track the conversation?
Yes, I am tracking, but what
No,
I'm
you're
saying is
not.
that what you're
With-
saying is that they just get it because they want to get it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
so
hold
what I'm
on, hold
saying
on.
is-
There were
so what I'm saying is-
71,000 procedures done in 2022 for this, or between 2019 and 2022. There's a 54% increase in individuals paying out of pocket for like aesthetic reasons. So this is 71,000 people in the year of
Right. So this is
2022
called
alone.
aesthetic. That type of surgery is called aesthetic. So they
Yeah,
they
but
label it. They label that. Hold on one second. So just like when I got a double mastectomy, right? A deep flap. I got a deep flap. Okay. So the way they look at a deep flap is when you have to go for your second round, they look at it as aesthetics. It's no longer labeled under. So I would probably be under just because he has to actually get it to look correctly. So it's still just because something is under aesthetics, that doesn't mean you're actually doing it for aesthetics. There's things that people have to do, but surgery will no longer cover. That's all aesthetics mean. When insurance companies no longer wants to cover it. So I wouldn't look too much into when you're talking
That's
about
not what that
breast
means.
care. Hold on one second. When you talk about mastectomy and breast care things, looking under like things that's under cosmetic and aesthetic, I would be very careful with that because there are a lot of breast cancer patients who can't get the surgery they want because something is listed under, oh, this is a cosmetic surgery. This is no longer considered healthcare. So there's still women don't just necessarily get these things because what the statistics are trying to tell you. Because I know you're on a computer right now and you're trying to look it up. But if you would look up the 3 surgeries that I had after my double mastectomy, those were surgery that I needed.
Yeah, so
because
the American
hold on 1 second. Hold on. I also got burnt in my
Okay.
surgery, and the insurance said, "Oh, well, for you to remove her scars and remove these things on her chest, that is no longer healthcare. That is cosmetic." But the truth of it is, if it would have stayed there, I could have got infections and all these things. So
Yeah.
do you still believe do you still believe that was a cosmetic surgery?
Yeah, something being cosmetic does not mean
Can
it's
you
not
answer the
health.
question? Is that a cosmetic surgery?
Something being cosmetic does not mean it's not also healthcare. A lot of cosmetic surgeries are covered by insurance, and a lot
No,
of
they're
surgeries,
not.
yes they are.
No, they are not.
A lot of surgery,
They're not.
Can you stop interrupting? me?
yeah,
Can you-
can we not
'Cause it's not
interrupt?
true.
Can you stop interrupting? We let you talk. Can you not interrupt me?
Because
right?
I had a double
So can
mastectomy,
you
I
stop
went through this.
interrupting? Can you stop interrupting me? Right?
Because that's not
So
true.
can you stop interrupting me? We let
It's
you
not
talk.
true.
We let you talk. Stop interrupting me. Right? So there are a lot of surgeries that are going to be deemed cosmetic that insurances will still cover. Just because something is cosmetic doesn't mean it's not also functional. There are such thing as functional cosmetic surgeries, right? Not everything that's cosmetic is just exclusively for aesthetics. For example, right, replacing tissue on a burn victim would be considered a cosmetic surgery. That would still be considered a functional surgery, and most insurances would cover that, right?
No, they didn't.
Just as breast augmentation for someone who's post double mastectomy, a lot of insurances will cover breast augmentation. That is still
They
completely
did not
cosmetic.
cover my
surgery. That's not even functionally cosmetic. That is
They
completely
didn't cover
cosmetic.
my surgery.
I don't care
Okay,
what
okay,
your
hold
insurance
on.
specifically covers, right?
I'm
saying
pretty
a
sure
lot.
you don't
Can
care about
stop
cancer
interrupting?
patients.
Can you stop
But that's
interrupting
not
me?
true.
Can you stop interrupting me? Like, genuinely, stop interrupting me, right? So a lot of insurances will still cover that. For example, I know for a fact my insurance covers it. My insurance covers scar revision surgery. My insurance covers a lot of cosmetic surgeries that aren't even functional cosmetic surgeries, because it helps the psyche of an individual. It depends on what insurance you have and what they deem that healthcare to be, right? It's going to be up to the insurance on what is deemed functional or necessary. It's not going to be up to the doctor. So saying something being cosmetic means it's not covered by insurance is just unequivocally false.
Also, I have the numbers
No,
up
that's
from
not true.
the
So once it's
yeah.
labeled as cosmetic surgery,
So you can just talk. I'm just going to keep muting her. She's just going to
Yeah.
talk over me.
Okay, guys. So yeah, I was just gonna say that I have the data from the
we're putting up data.
the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, and it says that in 2022 that there were 71,000 procedures done for aesthetic reason patients only. So this isn't even like done for any sort of like other reason. This is just for aesthetics.
And they say that a lot of times because
Yeah.
they feel like any surgery that you want to have and that it's not necessary. So if you're in
That's not
pain
true.
and your back hurt because of your breast, that does not necessarily, and then you have to do multiple surgeries for it to be okay. They're going to look at that as if no, she just wants a reduction. And this is now cosmetic. So I hope you know that they label things cosmetic, so the insurance does not have to cover these things.
Yeah, that
So there
depends on the
are for all
insurance.
these statistics of all these things of you saying, oh well, there's a lot of women that get cosmetic surgery and aesthetic surgery. But
There are.
the reason why they label that is because the insurance does not want to pay for that.
Yeah, so that's actually not how that works.
That
So
is how
doctors,
that works.
it's not, because
What
a
have
lot
you
of
been to
so
the
can you
hospital for?
stop interrupting
What
me?
have you been
So
to
a
the
lot of
hospital
so
for?
a lot of doctors actually deem these surgeries, especially for women with breasts that are causing this pain, as medically necessary. It is not them deeming it as cosmetic, because cosmetic is something more of an insurance term rather than a medical term. When you're talking about like something being covered or not, so it doesn't really matter if it affects a cosmetic. It is up to the insurance to cover it. Even if the doctor deems something medically necessary, it is up to the insurance to actually cover that thing. And yes, I've had countless surgeries. I know how this works. I know how the insurance process works. So like, don't like what? Like that's like a stupid. Have you been to a hospital? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, let me just say this real quick because somebody in the comments. First of all, number one, I have Blue Cross Blue Shield, but there is nothing wrong with people who have government healthcare insurance. So they're making comments they're making comments
Oh my
about
God.
people who have government healthcare.
I
And
have a
that's
lower
really not
copay on Medicaid.
what?
I have a lower copay for my meds on Medicaid.
Right. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like
Medicaid doesn't cover a lot of things that are deemed medically necessary. Blue Cross typically will. Like, for example, I know I have
Yeah.
Blue Cross, and I
I
know
have Blue
for a
Cross.
fact, my plan with Blue Cross will cover a complete double mastectomy or a breast reduction on someone purely for back
They
pain
did
or
cover
chest
my
pain or even
they did
cosmetic.
cover my double mastectomy. They
Okay.
covered it fully. But so when you have a deep flap, there's a phase 1, a phase 2, and a phase 3.
Oh my
I had
God.
to be in the hospital for 2 weeks. I had my phase 2 in the hospital. So that was covered. And then when I got out of the hospital and I found out that I had 2 surgeons. I had a general surgeon and I had a plastic surgeon. My general surgeon who did my actual the mastectomy, she burned me. And my plastic surgeon was the one who was actually going to have to fix that. And once he put it in as, oh, well, we have to go back for a phase 3, they said phase 3, and what you're talking about is cosmetic. So, yes, Blue Cross Blue Shield did fully cover my double mastectomy fully.
Yeah. So if they're revising something because they
It's not
made
revising.
you said the surgeon burned you.
That was my chest. Hmm.
What do you mean they burned you?
So I don't know how to explain it, but it was something about my skin. When she cut my skin, I was in surgery for 18 hours. So it was something about like she cut my skin and something about like when she put it back on. Not sure. I know that I did not heal right in the hospital when I was in there for those 2 weeks. And my whole skin, I still actually have marks on me. But I did not heal right. And I had like really big black burn marks on my chest. And my doctor wanted to go back in and like just cut the skin off of it, but it wasn't like nothing with my breasts. It was just the burn marks he wanted to take off.
Yeah, that's probably why insurance didn't cover it, because they try to put it as a phase 3 with your breast tissue. If they actually marked it as scar revision,
Okay, well
they
you're not a
probably
doctor, so I'm not
yeah.
even
So
about to do
I
it.
don't care.
What do you
If
do?
they so can you if they actually coded it as scar revision, they probably would have
It was
covered
not
it.
scar
It's
revision.
again, if it's burns caused by more surgery, then it would
Yeah,
fall under.
scar revision is for your scars.
So it would still fall under scar revision if it was
No, it
caused.
wasn't.
Can you stop
But
interrupting
it
me?
wasn't. That's not
Can you
true.
stop interrupting me?
That's not
Like
true.
it's not that hard. It's not interrupting me, right?
But you're not.
So
But you're not
I
telling
let you
facts.
talk. Can you stop interrupting me?
But you don't know
I
what
let
you're
you
talking
like
about.
I let you talk. Can you stop interrupting me?
But you're
Like
wrong.
okay. Anyways, if they marked it as a phase 3 when a phase 3 wasn't necessary, they're not going to cover it when it had nothing to do with your breast tissue. If it was cosmetic like that, however, if it was caused by a fault with the surgery, then it would fall under a classification of revision or scar revision, whether you want to say it is or isn't. And they would cover it
not.
under that coding, right? Which you need to talk to your doctor about getting it coded as that, because I know how Blue Cross and Blue Shield works, because I've had this happen to myself numerous times, right? I've had to have multiple scar revisions covered because my scar is keloid.
Yeah.
So they
that's
would
not
have
the
to
same
mark it as a
thing.
revision.
So what other healthcare is cisgendered? Because she doesn't know what she's talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking. I promise I'm
No,
more
you
educated than
don't.
this of you.
You're talking
I-
about.
Yeah, so I promise I'm
Talking
more
about
educated.
keloids
I
then.
promise I'm more educated than you. That being said, you need to stop interrupting me because I let you talk
What's your highest
continuously
education?
with bullshit, right? I continually let you talk and you continually interrupt me.
What's your
So can
highest
you have
education?
It
So
does
can
not
you, like,
matter,
calm down?
actually.
She said
That's
she's
the
more
fun
educated
part.
than me.
I am more educated than you.
Okay, what's your highest education?
My highest education is irrelevant when I'm more educated in the medical field than you. I promise I'm more educated in the medical field.
I don't have
than
a college degree. I probably know a hell of a lot more about trans history than you.
Oh, that's just trans history. You probably do.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
but like,
anyway.
That doesn't mean the educated means like all around. When you say you're educated,
No, you can be educated in one area and not another.
if you have a degree in it.
no.
Yeah, you have a degree in it. If you don't have a degree, if you're looking at the computer and typing, that doesn't mean you're educated on something.
Brother.
Anyways,
That's just a
Brother,
fact.
I have
Anyways,
a fucking cardboard computer. I'm educated in computers.
So-
I don't have any
I know
like, formal
you're Googling.
qualifications.
That's
No,
fine.
no,
yeah,
no,
the point
that's a
is
separate
you need to
computer.
stop. The point is you need to stop being aggressively interrupting people for literally no reason when you
Please
keep
stop
when no
trying
one's
to call a black
interrupting you.
woman aggressive.
I don't really care what race you are. Like
Relax.
when you're interrupting people, that is aggressive
A black
and
woman is
hostile.
not aggressive. That is so offensive. Like
Yeah,
You-
so
said-
I
You
mean,
just
it's
aggressive
not when-
person. It's
when
not
you're,
because you're a
like-
black woman. It's just
Yeah,
you
I
as a
don't
person
care.
are
I mean,
aggressive.
I don't care what race you are, nor did I know what race you are. 'Cause I
no, but
genuinely don't care.
that's what all like people that are not black. That's the first thing they scream. You're so aggressive.
It's not. It's really not. But like when you're continually interrupting someone, that is aggressive tonality.
That's
so you're
not
like
aggressive.
you're interrupting me for no reason when no one's interrupting you. Not to mention you scream at people when someone tried to
I
jump
screamed
in
up
for a
here?
moment. Yeah, you were like raising your voice and shutting people down when they try to interrupt you, right? So
Oh
no one
my
has been
God.
interrupting you, but you continually interrupt other people, right? So when we're talking about conversations, that would be conversationally aggressive.
Oh my gosh. First of all, nobody up here screamed. I've been using the same voice that I've been using right now. So the fact that we're crying about a black woman being aggressive and screaming and yelling is
I
hilarious.
didn't say you're screaming and yelling. I said
You
you're
said
raising your
you said I was
voice.
screaming.
You're raising your voice. Screaming was an exaggeration, but you're definitely raising your voice, and you
My tone
definitely
has been
yelled
the
when someone
same.
else interrupted you, and you're
My tone
definitely
has been the same.
you're definitely yelling to interrupt other people as well.
No, my tone has been the same, and nobody is yelling.
It hasn't.
Yeah, can we
Okay.
let's all take a Deep breath
Well,
in.
you have to. Here's the thing.
And
Here's the
out.
thing.
It's not about
You
race
have
at
to
all.
know the cues of what
Or
you're
not.
saying to people. Every black woman is not aggressive because
I
she's
never said they
talking
were.
and she says something. You just said I was yelling, and I did not come up.
You
here.
were earlier.
Not one time.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. What did I was like, my voice got higher than this right here.
Yes, multiple times.
Okay. Yeah, this is white woman tears. And
I'm not even white. Like,
I
what?
gotta go. Bye.
Okay, bye. You can run. Bye. I'm not even white. Like, what the fuck? You got caught out for interrupting people and for raising your voice, and then when someone calls you out for that, you scream racism and run away. Like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
That was wild. But yeah, she interrupted so many times. And at one point, she said, "'Cause you're wrong," and I'm like, maybe I'll just start interrupting every time that she's wrong now, which would be like every 2 seconds. You
I'm
know,
not-
like I really just can't. It was so difficult to listen to her
I
start
couldn't
to finish.
even mute. It wouldn't let me mute or anything. I mean, Stoke can tell you whatever the fuck it was coming up with on my screen.
Like, that was like genuinely fucking wild. Like, how the fuck are you gonna say that wasn't being conversationally aggressive? I would argue that anyone who consistently interrupts would be considered aggressive. I don't care what race you are. I've said that to multiple people. Your race is irrelevant, considering I didn't even know what race you are because I wasn't looking at my fucking screen, right? So seeing you had a black character as your profile picture, cool. But I didn't fucking know, nor do I care. Like, genuinely, just like
Grr.
you need to like learn how to converse properly and have etiquette.
Aggressive stove. Well then, what is up with the guests today?
Like, yeah,
Holy-
that was frustrating. Imagine telling someone that they're just wrong about healthcare when I have dealt with significantly more in it than she has. Like, it's fucking insane.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going on my 13th surgery next week. Like,
Yeah, I think you have an understanding of whatchamacallit.
have you ever been to a hospital? Like, shut the fuck up.
Wow, that was aggressive.
No way. Even me,
That's
the
crazy.
autistic, the one who doesn't pick up on social cues. Yeah, that was. I guess I pick up on aggression a lot more, but that's
But
there's history with
was
that, but
am I incorrect by calling someone who's continually interrupting, saying interrupting is aggressive?
I don't know if you just want Stone's answer or mine too, but
Anyone's.
okay.
If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong.
I think that having a consistent standard, which you've laid out, is correct. Knowing that other people may have a different consistent standard or meaning when they say aggressive, or that people might just be unaware at times. Ooh, crunchy.
yeah, that's very crunchy to my ears.
Oh, sorry, shit.
So my thoughts are there's nothing wrong with it as long as it's consistent. What you've again shared that it is and shown that. So someone might have a little bit of a different way of seeing it, but as long as they're consistent too, then I think that's good. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it personally for that reason.
Oh, yeah, everyone here knows me enough to know that I'm going to call literally anyone who interrupts me rude and aggressive. I'm
Indeed.
angry, yeah.
Nah, you never do that. You never. You specifically target people like me for being British.
Snake, why are you being so aggressive? What the fuck?
Bro, I'm not even yelling. I can't yell. I have a migraine. I'd probably hurt my own head doing that.
I'd also like to state that I tend to call it out significantly more if they continually interrupt me or other people, but yell and get angry when other people interrupt them or try to jump in when they're talking. I call that out significantly more because I think that's insanely hypocritical.
I zoned out looking at Taco Bell. What happened? Fucking, I know, right?
Yeah, Naff, what happened was Corrupt was just bullying me for being British.
Good. No.
Yeah, sorry, I was just bullying. But like genuinely, like white women tears. Why'd you make it about race? I'm not fucking white. Everyone who knows me knows I'm not white.
I didn't
I'm
know
very
that,
much not white.
But
You
it's-
didn't
To
know?
be
Oh.
honest, I don't fucking know. I'm forgetful.
Anyone who
I-
sees me knows I'm very not white. Like I'm obviously not white.
Yeah, but to be fair, I don't think I've seen a picture of you, and if I have, my memory has erased it. So
Oh, that's fair. Oh, you have a request.
Yeah, they're friendly.
Oh, it's not it.
Yeah, no, I think just chilling there. I don't know if that actually helps with anything. I'm not sure what the like. I assume that it's I assume what helps is like just overall interaction with lives. Hi, Iconic. Hi, friend.
Yeah, Mr. Iconic. Yeah, I'm Native American. That makes people crash out when they realize I'm Native American.
oh yeah, I think you mentioned that at some point.
I had
Again,
oh, you guys know Crystal? I assume you know Crystal.
who?
Crystal.
The GC.
Yeah, the GC.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like screaming
Who
and
the fuck
crashing
is
out,
Crystal?
trying to force her gender norms onto a Native American when she's on the stolen lands. Like, bro, the fucking cognitive dissonance is fucking insane here. That you're saying that this is like our societal norms while you're on fucking Native American land that was stolen.
That's
from
crazy.
natives. Like,
Wait,
bro.
Croc, when did I run from Q? I was in a live with Kayla and Q the other day, and I was trying to explain to Kayla how this was just an education for me and Fan. We're just gonna drop. And then Q started like crashing out at me when I was trying to talk, and I'm like, what the fuck? He was like, this is an AB conversation, not an ABC conversation, so see your way out of it. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll fucking leave then. Bye. And I fucking left. Like that's not me running. Croc literally fucking Q literally told me to shut up and leave. Like what the fuck? I'm like, okay, I'll leave. Not to mention that wasn't even a debate. That was just me educating Kayla on how we're defining sex.
I'm convinced that GCs can't ground their morals either. This is something that I've started to realize. When I tried holding Envy, when I tried to hold her feet to the fire on it, she just kicked me and ended the stream.
Wait, hold her feet to the fire on what?
On morals, like grounding morals, like why something is wrong.
Watch that.
Oh yeah, no, because they don't have a good grasp on how morality works. Not even Croc does, and Croc claims to be a humanist. Like Croc is trying to say that I ran from Q when Q literally told me to leave and shut up. Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, he told me to leave, so I'm leaving.
When it comes down to like what society is yours, I don't know. I feel like people, whatever society you grew up in, you can kind of claim ownership to. It's kind of how that works. Is like the best way, or I guess membership of. I don't know.
GCs are inherently misogynistic. I would agree.
All societies are mine. I am British. And I have taken them. Wah. Yeah, that sounds like a Brit.
I disagree.
Damn, that's crazy.
I think there is one society that you haven't taken, and that would be Laos.
The country of Laos.
Yeah, I don't think you guys invaded Laos.
Did they ever
'cause
invade Mongolia?
There's 22 countries in the world, I believe, that Britain has never invaded.
Is Laos one of them? Like, did I actually get that right? Was Laos
Actually,
one of
let
them?
me look that up because I can never remember the 22. I just know there's 22.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's all of them. I know there's like a handful that you
Actually,
guys
I
did
think
invade.
Laos might be one.
Yeah, Laos and Russia, but I don't want to count Russia.
Nope. Laos is. Okay, let's look up when they invaded Laos.
Oh, they invaded Laos. Damn it! What haven't they invaded? Damn. Oh, I have to get back to work. I was on my break.
Matt, you should have said something like Sweden, Belarus, Vatican City, things like that.
Well, I don't want to count like Western countries. I feel like that's a cop out.
Oh,
There's
maybe
Mongolia.
maybe
Mongolia,
not.
yeah, that would have been good.
It's also
They
Bolivia. and
never
Paraguay.
invaded Sweden.
Yeah,
Sweden,
I just
Western.
said that.
Yeah.
I literally just said that.
Monaco.
Paraguay would.
What?
Monaco? You mean Morocco?
No,
No, Monaco.
I've never heard of Monaco.
It's a
Monaco
tiny
is-
fuck off country that's
Yeah,
at the
it's-
border of
it's
like.
basically a tiny country of so small of French elites.
Huh. Well, anyways,
It's
I gotta go back to work. I have 2 minutes to get back in and clock back in. You
okay.
kids have fun.
Don't tell me how to live my life. No, I'm kidding. You have to. You
That's
have...
being aggressive.
You're not
Be
my
aggressive
mom.
Sorry.
about it.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Oh, well, so they never
Wow,
invaded
why were you so
Vatican
aggressive
City.
with that bye? So loud and aggressive with that bye, I can't believe you.
What about the wait? What's Sealand? I think that's the one.
Huh?
Yeah, the Principality of Sealand. Yeah, you can come up, I guess. That's fine.
Yay! Hi.
Hi. Yeah,
Nice
I
to
think.
meet you.
Are you talking about Sealand? The micronation?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes. I love the fact that it exists. It's so funny to me.
Technically,
Is it considered a country?
sort of, but like, if I don't know, if are you asking if it's ever been invaded by Britain? It was
By
once owned by
England,
Britain.
yeah.
It was once owned by Britain, so like,
God damn it!
sorta.
God damn it!
They've kind of just like
mean-
let it sit there because like this is
Wait,
this is not something that
say-
they really give a shit about. Like when oil rig declaring
Yeah, but,
independence.
I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, I guess
they
it's not
say
a oil rig.
Andorra.
It's
They say
a
Andorra wasn't. They say Andorra was never invaded by Britain, but technically the land that Andorra lies on, I'm pretty sure, was occupied by Britain at some point a long time ago. But it isn't technically been invaded because it wasn't formed at that point.
Do y'all want to see a cat?
Sure.
Hell yeah! Why would I ever say no to a cat? Oh,
She says hi.
pretty.
You get big screen for a second. Giddy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's a dick face tuxedo cat.
Dick face tuxedo cat is wild.
Yeah, she's an old lady.
Aww. Hey, do you want to see a
Okay.
picture of one of my cats?
Boop, 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 boop.
Do you want to see a picture
She's-
of one of my cats?
Her meds have just kicked in, so she's very sleepy.
Here's Cole's cat. Oh, I just see black screen.
Sad.
Yeah, he
Hi.
pissed.
Here's
So
my
I
kitty.
can't really get him right now.
Okay, and then
Here's a picture of one of my cats.
Baby!
it blended.
Oh, there's a really bad echo, Cole.
Yeah, this is a known
Oh,
problem.
sorry, I forgot to mute. I'm aware. I just forgot to mute.
And this is Mazakeen.
Wonderful name.
Do you want to see Lucifer?
Yes! Is this from the show, or is this, like, relating to actual lore? Or not lore, fucking mythology.
Named after the show, I didn't name them.
Okay. Fair enough. My cat, I adopted her June of last year.
Here's
And
Lucifer.
she is, oh my goodness.
Oh,
I adopted her June of last year, and she's over 13 years old now. So I thought changing her name would be a little bit rude at that point.
I learned today that stoats, the North American ermine, or the North American or the American stoat. Oh my god,
Mhm.
that's a wild.
Baby.
That's a wild photo. What? But I learned that they diverged. They came over to the Americas
Score.
500,000 years ago, and
Yeah.
and there's a subspecies, or not, it's its own species that like bred with a hybrid. It happened as a result of like a hybridization event where the Pacific Northwest and European stoats and like American stoats kind of bred together, and then they settled on the islands, and then yeah. So they're their own little their own species of stoats that split off 375,000 fucking years ago. Literally older than Homo sapiens sapiens.
That's really funny. I will say, my favorite stoats are like Eastern European stoats. They're so cute.
So just Mustela ermina, like this guy.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. The type
They're so
species of
silly.
stoats. It's type species for
Mm.
mustelids. Or I guess Mustela,
I
which is the type
absolutely
genus for mustelids.
I love their winter coats. I think they're adorable.
They are.
I, I mean like the fur that they have, to be clear. Not sorry.
Solid, what was that?
Hmm?
Did nobody else see what Solid just had up?
No.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Gibby.
I'm just.
Egyptian
I can't
cat.
focus. Oh my.
Gibby fell asleep like
Oh,
that.
it gets cut
Beautiful.
off, but it gets cut off, but it's a cat doing the Egyptian pose.
Wonderful.
No.
If you ever want random cute cat pictures and memes, just hit me up. I have like
Yes.
hundreds of
You
them saved
you
on my
must
phone.
you must DM me with memes. Sadly, I don't think you can DM memes into.
You can DM pictures on TikTok.
You can?
You can now.
Oh.
At least
Well,
you
either
couldn't
way, I have a
for
Discord.
within the UK. I don't think for a while. I don't know why. Silly state
Oh,
laws.
no, never mind. It's not available in your region or country. It won't let me send it specifically for
See?
Ubatic.
What hellhole do you live in?
It doesn't let me.
No.
It's
It might
not
be a
available in
VPN.
your country or region according to TikTok.
Yeah, that might be doing it.
Yeah, but I think my VPN is set to the US, so
It might be state. I don't know. There's so many restrictions going on.
Yeah.
It's...
Even with VPNs, TikTok doesn't seem to recognize that. It tends to actually recognize your actual country, not the VPN's one for some reason.
Oh. So the US said no.
So you don't show up as a US account, basically.
I should, because I'm in the US.
What? Do I need that at all? No.
Strange.
That's what I'm saying. My VPN is whatever. If you want, you can have my Discord.
Sure, if you want to message it me.
Sure.
I can just send the link, it might be easier.
But it won't let you.
What do you mean?
It won't let you.
Why is my viewership? It hasn't. I guess it's not that bad right now. I just have lower consistent real-time viewers, but my total viewers have been down today. Or no, sorry, other way around. My real-time viewers have been down, but my total views have been high, or like on normal, on par.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna teacup for a sec, but let me.
It let me send the link just then.
Huh?
I just sent you my friend link.
I had this really strange problem with my laptop the other day where you turn it off and it would just turn itself back on.
I had something like that with an old laptop, but because it had like a 5% chance of booting and then booting into the HP error message, you know, where it has the really loud beeping sound because the fan doesn't want to turn on.
Yeah.
And so the system can't cool. And so, because
Sorry.
it would randomly do that, it would randomly boot like that in the middle of the night. And so you had about a 5% chance, so like 1 in every 20 days, that it would randomly start beeping in the middle of the night and wake you up.
Does the person who's in the chat want to come up and speak out loud? Because we're not going to entertain you in the chat, just so you know.
Who?
Is it Yep? Yep never
It's
comes
Yep.
up.
Yep
Well,
never comes up.
Womp womp. That sucks for you. Anyway, what were you saying? Also, we're in the same server, Snake.
Do I just not see this person's chats?
No, it's Yep.
Oh,
How was I meant to know that?
never.
Yeah, but
Oh, they
realistically,
requested. Well, what a wild.
Oh, fascinating.
Vatic,
Come on up.
Vatic, how am I meant to know it's you though if you don't have the same name?
Hello.
Hello. Do we want to ask for age and pronouns?
Yeah. Can I get your age and pronouns?
49 he him on TikTok.
There you go.
Got it. So what's the conflation? What am I conflating? Oh,
Hello? Hello?
Is
be
You
gone!
good?
Be gone!
1 second.
Wait.
That was spooky as fuck.
I believe you just became a robot.
What are
You
your
there,
pronouns,
guys?
Vatic?
Oh,
Just so
he,
we-
him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I figured I would ask you. You sound
Yeah,
over
you're
18,
good.
so I'm not gonna worry about that as much.
I'm 26, man.
Did you just assume my
I
gender? You- now you
gender
see me?
neutral man.
No, you
Gender
don't.
neutral man. Man in the colloquial gender neutral sense. Like dude.
I can become semi-transparent. Wild.
Wonderful. The technology nowadays. It's fascinating. What's going on with your mic? Yep.
Sorry about that. I was out of service there
You're
for a
good.
second. So
Yeah.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So I guess saying that transgender healthcare is the same human right as cisgender healthcare. So when
I'm
you're
sorry.
saying
What's the difference?
I have to clarify. Both say healthcare, yes?
yes,
Is healthcare not a human right?
well, technically, the human right.
Technically?
The human right is access to healthcare,
Yes.
which we all have.
That's not true.
Yeah, I was about to
Okay,
say, have
why-
you seen the laws
why-
that have tried to restrict transgender
Okay.
healthcare?
Okay, so what healthcare are you being denied, or what healthcare is being denied when it comes to transgender people?
Do you want me to list?
Just name a few, I guess.
Okay. Accurate studies related to trans bodies and the way that they are treated in the healthcare industry.
Very
The
good. Go ahead.
I'm trying to think words. Jesus. Sorry. I have aphasia and sometimes my brain decides that I don't know words.
It's just having a minor
Also
tone.
things
Sorry.
yeah. My brain, my words are blue screening, but the processing power is fine.
We
It's
all
really
have,
annoying.
we have the right to access healthcare.
Right,
Yeah.
but
Not everyone can get elective healthcare.
So
right, but
let's see real quick. Yeah, I have
yeah,
a question
one
for
second.
you.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. But remember, the question is still out there: is what healthcare we don't have for transgender and identified individuals. But go
My
ahead.
question would answer your question, but I'll let Vatic finish. Sorry.
I literally just said there's a lot of healthcare that trans people just do not have access to, including things like accurate oh god, if my brain would work.
Collective and stuff, but we're just talking about
Bro,
truth.
I'm not done talking. I'm just trying to get my
Need to
words
hush while other
together.
people
I
speak,
literally
yes.
just said. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll wait. Go ahead.
Thank you. When it accurate information when it comes to transgender bodies, mental health care. There's also issues when it comes to non-elective procedures and the discrimination that comes from being trans. There's a lot of stuff that trans people do not have access to, including things like basic medication, hormonal like supplementation, even though you understand what I'm talking about, yes?
I'm trying to, but you keep repeating things and going back to the same thing. You've said like access to like 4 times. So I'm just asking like specifically, you just said medication. What medication is
Oh my god. Okay.
What medication do transgender people not have access to? Because again, the human right is access to healthcare, not healthcare.
Let me know if
Go
you
ahead.
want me to tag in at any point, because I know.
Yeah, go for it, because you're not listening to the things I've literally just said. Anyway.
Well, if you
Yeah.
want to concede,
I'll go to
that's
the-
fine.
No, I'm
We
not
can
here to
go back
concede,
to it.
bud. Listen up. Yep. If you want a specific medication, I'll give you one. Spironolactone. The president of the United States is on spironolactone, but it also used in hormonal replacement therapy as an androgen blocker for trans people as well. But it's also used for, I think it's blood pressure or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the president of the United States is on it. So there's a specific medication for you. But when it comes to healthcare in general,
Access.
um,
Hey, let's go one by one.
do you want the
Tell me
answers?
about the access for it.
In certain states, minors and adults can't access this because there are
Okay,
thousands at this
why?
point over the last couple of years of bills and laws that have been passed that make it so that transgender people specifically cannot access this, but cisgender people can
Okay, so tell me why they can't access it.
because of laws
Yeah,
that
because
were made
it's
to
it's
say
called
they can't.
yeah, it's fucking illegal to. It's
Okay.
banned.
All right, so you're talking about like healthcare systems will not approve it for you?
No,
Like this is just systematic
legal
bans.
federal laws, state laws.
State laws. Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
say don't say federal. It's state currently for the most part. Deny.
So
It's
what is
that
that called again?
there's denying coverage. Many insurance plans just reject gender affirming care of any sort, in terms of like coverage, and that's
Yeah, I got a pen here. What's it called?
what
What's the medicine called?
Spironolactone.
Spironolactone.
Spironolactone. I posted it
Oh,
in the
lactone.
chat. Yeah, SPIRONOLACTONE. Spironolactone.
And you're saying that if a transgender person were to access this under any circumstances, it would be a state crime.
In certain states, yes.
Okay, give me that statute, please.
U.S.
Yeah, there definitely are states that have full-on gender affirming care health bans in place. So
Right. So, if someone if someone is on this medicine and then publicly identifies as transgender, they would have their medicine taken away, and they would be subject to criminal under criminal jurisdiction.
I mean, yeah,
So-
they'd be taking it to transition, and that's
Yeah,
what they're
okay.
making illegal.
Well,
So,
it's not like
if they're
illegal
using
to
it
have it.
transition.
It would
Wait
be.
a second. The claim was made that it was illegal to have
It's
it, to
banned.
access it.
It's banned. It's
Right.
so it's legal to have with a valid prescription. So if you have a valid prescription, that's fine. You just can't get a valid prescription. That's the problem.
Okay. So it's a controlled substance.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Yeah.
And what is
you
this?
need a
yes
medication.
and no.
You need
So
a.
it falls under the Controlled Substance Act of what state?
Let me actually see if it is a controlled
Yeah, I was about
substance.
to say, when I say yes and no, it's not a controlled substance in the way that you are asking it is. I don't think.
No,
Yeah, well,
That doesn't mean there can't be legislation over who can have it and who can't.
It's prescription only, so it's not over the counter. If that makes sense. It's
They just can't give the prescription to people who are taking it as
For-
HRT.
yeah. So it's basically a law that prohibits doctors from prescribing medications as they would see like medically fit.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. The law.
Yeah, okay, so I can actually I know that Tennessee has one. Law that bans.
I would also like to bring up that there is a significant amount of states that do ban what is considered the best practice for transgender healthcare.
We'll get to that in a second, because
Mhm.
what I want you to do is find out how we can prove that someone is in fact transgender.
You
so that we
don't.
can,
You can't
we
prove
can-
that you're
Actually,
cisgender.
actually, there
that
are
we can
requirements. Yep. Can I answer your question?
Yeah, go ahead.
There are requirements to access transgender healthcare, which include things like a diagnosis of gender dysphoria, that is considered consistent, persistent, and insistent for over a certain amount of time, which is usually multiple years. There needs to be a significant amount of therapy that has been participated in before they're even considered for things like hormone therapy in a lot of places. I don't like.
Affirming care is that necessary for?
Yes.
No, what specific gender affirming care is that necessary for?
Hormones, surgery.
Hormones and surgery. Okay.
Mhm.
And that's through that's through private healthcare, or that's through
Both.
Both.
any healthcare. So a doctor, if you paid out of your pocket, a doctor would not be able to prescribe you this ever.
Yeah, they would be and under Tennessee it would be Senate Bill 1. If anybody was to give an adolescents this for gender affirming reasons, like hormone therapy, they could
Yes.
they're subject to a Class B misdemeanor, and there could be civil action of $25,000 brought against the provider who does this, and this was upheld by the Supreme Court that they could do this.
And that is for, can you spell that one more time? Spilro lacton?
It's any sort of gender. It's any sort of.
We've
like,
moved on to talking
hormones.
about hormone therapy in general.
Well, yeah,
There's
it's under the class of hormone therapies essentially.
Yes.
So
Basically,
spirolacton under Senate Bill 1 in Tennessee would be a Class B misdemeanor.
Oh my God.
If you had possession of it.
No.
And you were not.
It's not possession or taking it. It's who's providing it to you. That's the problem.
Let me make this clear in one sentence.
Yeah, please, because it seems like there's a lot
Let me make this clear. Any doctor that prescribes any gender-affirming hormone therapy under this law to someone who is under the age of 18 would be considered to have committed a misdemeanor.
Right. Okay. So now we're getting somewhere. Anyone under the age of 18, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what are you saying that would be discriminatory towards transgender people and not other people?
Yeah, because it's only it denies anybody from providing gender affirming care, which is almost entirely just transgender individuals.
Actually, that's not true.
Oh, really?
Gender affirming care is mostly used by cis people. So
well, but like, let's be realistic here. These bans are against.
No. Yes, that's why I'm saying it's discriminatory. To be clear, if this was prescribed to a cis person, say for example for supplementing hormones or any of these other things, it would not be considered a misdemeanor. There would be no issue. You see what I'm talking about?
Over 18 or under 18?
Under
for a
18.
Identified person. Okay.
Under 18. It's the same with things like puberty blockers, which are used for precocious puberty.
And even like breast reductions and breast augmentations, a lot of minors, surprisingly, a lot more minors get those surgeries than you would think. And it's often cis people and rarely trans people.
Yeah, so and it's only the actual like caption text. It says that As enacted, this prohibits the healthcare provider from performing on a minor or administering to a minor a medical procedure if the performance or administration of the procedure is for the purpose of enabling a minor to identify to live as a purported identity inconsistent with the minor's sex. So like it's completely
go.
fine if you wanting to identify as a male, identify as a man. They will never stop you there. It is only for if you want to be non-binary or transgender or a woman or any
Not
of
if
this.
you want to be, if you are.
Oh,
But
yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
Yes, it is precisely and specifically against transgender people. It is stated in the law itself.
For 18, correct?
For minors.
Okay. So it is banned for minors before 18 from being given through healthcare, but the holding on to it or the getting it and taking it is not illegal for a minor. This
Oh
is
my God.
for healthcare providers, correct?
Yes.
Because
Yeah,
the claim was made, and let's not. Hey, let's just listen. Listen now.
Uh-huh.
The claim was made that it was illegal to have.
I think it is.
No,
still,
it was not.
Yes, it was.
What is it? It's
Also, things like testosterone are considered a controlled substance. They are illegal to have unless you have a valid prescription.
Well,
So I don't understand what your
right.
point is.
But is the access there? Because we can
No.
get testosterone on the internet.
No, that's illegal
Okay,
to
you
do.
can do lots
Okay.
of
That's-
illegal things to get around the laws. That's
Yeah.
not what we're talking about here.
Yeah,
Is it
I
illegal
hate to
do
tell
it
you.
or illegal to have
Yes, it is illegal to have it.
Answer
Testosterone
this.
is a controlled substance. Like how it is illegal
yeah.
to
So
have
it is
ADHD
illegal to have.
medication.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's considered a legend medication.
Who is allowed to order it on the internet as a minor?
No one
No one.
Thank
Nobody's
you.
allowed it to,
on the internet. No
or
one.
as an adult.
Thank you.
You can, it would just
Or
be
an adult.
illegal. That's the point.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
I'm literally telling you that you get it with a prescription.
Thank you very much. And that is the standards that are in place for healthcare.
Yes,
Right.
but to explain to you, minors who are cisgender can be prescribed testosterone in certain circumstances. If
For what
that
reason?
minor, oh my God, as a supplement for hormonal therapy, if
Mhm.
someone is not like if I'm pretty sure is Stoat, you're gonna have to correct me on this. Actually, I'll look it up. Is TRT prescribed to minors?
I would say if they're past like the onset of puberty and their body doesn't produce enough testosterone on its own.
Yes, TRT is prescribed to minors for specific medical conditions. It's used to treat hypogonadism, constitutional delay of puberty, and gender affirming care. Now that third thing is now banned in a lot of places.
Right. So
Do
can
you
we
see how
prove
that's discrimination?
can we prove that someone has hypergonadal or whatever you said it was?
Yes.
Can we prove that someone is transgender?
Yes, because there are
Yeah.
requirements to doing so. What are you talking about?
Awesome. How does someone prove being transgender as a minor?
I literally just named them. Like,
Go
I'm
get a
talking
clinical diagnosis of
I'm
gender
Oh my God.
dysphoria.
dysphoria.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the
Anyone can claim having dysphoria. Go ahead, please. Talking about proof.
I'm
yeah.
talking
Oh
about
my
a
God.
medical
Anybody.
diagnosis.
So hold
One
on.
second.
Let's
Listen,
yeah,
I can
let
go to
her speak.
Cleveland
Yeah,
One
let's
second.
Get a
yeah,
medical
let's let the
diagnosis.
host
1
speak.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yep. Do you think that anybody can claim to be autistic?
I have no idea. Yes,
Yeah.
Do you
they
think that
claim to
anybody
be.
can claim to?
people
be
can
clear.
claim to be.
Can anybody be
autistic.
diagnosed with autism?
I don't know.
No.
The
No,
answer is no.
You can't, because like if you
Uh,
like as somebody who's personally been diagnosed with autism and gone through the
Well-
procedures, it's a lengthy process typically. It was like a
If
4
you'd
hour
like to
thing.
talk about
and
autism, that's fine.
weeds you
But
out.
we have the subject matter of transgender right
yeah.
here. So
Can I
let's
give
talk
you
about
an yeah?
Yeah, for
Can
the
I give
same-
you an example? Sorry, Stoat.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So As an example, to be clear, because we're talking about controlled substances here, yes? Testosterone and, in general, hormone replacement therapy is a treatment for gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is a diagnosis. Now, for example, this is an example, to be clear. Could I tomorrow go talk to somebody, say, I have ADHD, go prescribe me this controlled substance? Yes or no?
I don't know. I mean, someone could say anything they wanted, but I don't know if it
Would that happen? Is that possible for me to go to a doctor and say, I have ADHD, I have never been tested, I want to go get this controlled substance, please prescribe it to me?
Yes, you can say that.
Is that going to work?
I don't know. It would depend on the doctor, not me.
The
Duh.
answer is no, because that's illegal. That is
Oh,
against the code of, like, that's not something a doctor can do because you don't have the diagnosis of ADHD. ADHD
So,
has specific
Vanek-
requirements for I'm still talking. ADHD has
Okay.
specific requirements for diagnosis. So does gender dysphoria.
Okay. There's a pause. I'm going to jump in, Vatic.
Yes,
There's a
I'm done
pause.
talking. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So, what is the requirements for being transgender?
Right. So right now we're not talking about being transgender. We're talking about specifically the diagnosis of gender dysphoria, which is treated
Okay.
with gender affirming care. Yes?
Great.
So
There's
gender
another pause.
dysphoria, the requirement
Yep.
for the diagnosis of gender dysphoria is that the condition is insistent, consistent, and persistent. Usually this
What is the
means
condition? What is the
gender
condition?
It's a distress-based condition, so it's
Right. It's
distress.
gender
marked,
dysphoria.
Let Vatic finish.
the marked incongruence. I got you. But how is it
No.
proven?
Yeah, it's
Oh my god. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. Go through the process again. How's
Thank
it
you.
proven?
So, psychotherapy for a significant amount of time, usually over a year, sometimes over 2 years is required. And there you have to, for most of it, you also need to have socially transitioned and lived as the gender that you identify as for over, I believe, a year. Um, you need to, this is something that a therapist has to sign off on, and they have to have seen you for multiple years before you can even be prescribed that.
So what you just told me is that the person must identify as transgender for a multiple amount of time.
That is not what I said.
Okay, so
That
what
is
are
part
they?
of what I said.
What do they have to live as then? If a male youth has lives as a woman, is
Mhm.
that considered is that considered gender dysphoria?
Are we talking about
It
adults
is
or
considered
adolescents? It's
a
different.
minor, is what
Okay.
he said.
Gender
But also,
dysphoria in
I'm
minors. I can pull up the exact criteria if you'd like. That's probably
yes,
would be
please
the-
do.
Yes.
There's
and
actually a
please bring
whole. Oh, sorry.
bring
Sorry.
up the biomarkers. Let's break it
It's
down.
not
to
a biological condition, my guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
so like my
okay. So
autism
how
isn't
Like how
a biological
ADHD
condition.
isn't a biological condition,
So
and yet
how
it still
do
has
you prove it?
diagnostic criteria. How do you prove ADHD?
I
Biology
don't
is
know.
simply like biologically male or biologically female. Even
Bro, what
on
are you
that.
doing
Hold on.
here? Why are you interrupting?
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I thought there was a break. I'm supporting you actually.
Okay,
I
go
didn't know
ahead.
that I didn't realize I was interrupting you. I thought I heard I heard a break, and I just decided to talk. If you would like me to be quiet for now, I will let you finish.
Sorry,
I didn't know if you weren't finished.
Sorry,
Oh,
I'm
that's
just.
that's Jed, not
Okay.
You
Okay.
brought the
Okay.
old
Cool.
one out. The
yeah.
old one that calls it a disorder.
No, yeah, that's what I realized.
Yeah, that's the old one. It's
Yeah,
a
that's
disorder.
Jed. Well,
Remember how they changed it because disorder was a bad word for people.
well, yeah. So gender identity disorder is different than gender dysphoria. There's no reason to like pathologize it. That's the reason why they changed it.
Mm-hmm. And as we know, gender identity can change. So that's what I'm trying to get at is how can we prove it for that period of time, and at like what age can we confirm it?
Yeah, so gender dysphoria in children is marked incongruence of one experience, expressed and expressed gender, and assigned gender of at least 6 months duration, as manifested by at least 6 of the following, which one of them must be criterion A1. A strong desire to be the gender or an instance that is one of the other gender or some alternative gender differing from one's assigned gender. And boys assigned gender, a strong preference of cross-dressing, or simulating female attire, or in girls assigned gender, a strong preference of wearing only typically masculine clothing, and a strong prevalence of wearing or a resistance to wearing the typical feminine clothing, a strong preference for cross-dressing or cross-gender roles in make-believe play or fantasy play, a strong preference for the toys, games, or activities stereotypically used or engaged with by the other gender, a strong preference for playmates of the other gender, and boys, a strong rejection of the typically masculine toys, games, and activities, a strong avoidance of rough and tumble play, or in girls, a strong rejection of typically feminine toys, games, and activities, a strong dislike of one's own sexual anatomy, a strong desire for the primary and or secondary sex characteristics that match with one's expressed gender, and then B, that also has to come into account. The condition must be associated with a clinically significant distress or impairment in social, school, or other important areas of functioning.
And I actually have the table from the DSM brought up right here. I can't bring it up because it's on my laptop, but I want to point out that it says there involves at least 6 of the following, and an associated significant distress or impairment in function lasting at least 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the minimum criteria just to get diagnosed with gender dysphoria. Now, to acquire healthcare associated for gender dysphoria, most insurances and doctors will require you to then have psychotherapy for, I believe, 1 to 2 years before you can access any sort of healthcare associated, unless this is something that is directly threatening to someone's life, which it can be.
Yeah. So I guess in this instance, why would they go for therapy if that criteria has been met?
Because it hasn't been met. To get any sort of care, you usually need to go to therapy for 2 years.
Well, wait a second here. You just read out the criteria for...
That's for the diagnosis.
Okay.
Yeah, so
When
ahead.
you
Tell me
self-diagnose something like this, you have to go to the therapist to
Go
get
ahead.
the diagnosis.
Okay, go ahead.
Was your question why would they continue to get therapy?
No.
Okay.
Why would someone get therapy if they were diagnosed with gender dysphoria? Was the question, I believe.
Nope.
I
Okay.
don't think he even said diagnosed with, but yeah.
Yeah.
That was what I was asking. That's why I was trying to clarify, because
Mhm.
there are other reasons why any member of any oppressed demographic of human being would need to get therapy based on the fact that they went through the amount of trauma that they went through.
For TRT, it's the W path, which is like the standards of care for minors accessing HRT. It's a focus on the onset of Tanner stage 2 rather than like a specific age, just like a minimum age. It's going to be they recommend a comprehensive multidisciplinary evaluation by qualified mental health professionals and medical providers. They also take into account other mental health concerns that could affect how the care should be addressed. And there's a level of informed consent / assent, as in the adolescent must like demonstrate the capacity to understand the risks, including the impact on fertility, and along with parental consent, and it's a very individualized care. It's tailored to the individual than a one size fit all approach.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm
Is
also looking
required
at
to get the diagnosis of gender dysphoria.
just a diagnosis is not enough to warrant medical treatment, to be clear.
Okay.
So
you have
I'm going
gender
to
dysphoria. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm going to explain to you.
Yeah.
Gender dysphoria is not necessarily there are different levels of gender dysphoria. Some aspects of gender dysphoria can be alleviated through things like social transition. The requirements are, and the reason why you need 2 years of therapy is that things like medical transition are more intensive than social transition. It's why you need to try multiple, say, antidepressants before you do any other type of depression treatment, because that's more intensive. Do you understand?
I understand. I'm asking you why, though. What's the harm if you already have the gender dysphoria diagnosis? Because you've met the criteria that is not medical criteria.
Okay. How about this?
It's not just a
I
one
wanna
size
go-
fits all approach. Like with like an antidepressant, we understand widely how as long as you don't have like an understanding of your genetics and like what you're predisposed towards, it is just a general like understanding that you know, counseling and things such as medication are going to help generally. Like we understand how depression is caused, at least within like chemical imbalances in the brain, and how to roughly treat this. But like with gender dysphoria, like it's very individualized in terms of how we what we find, like what we do in terms of finding a good approach to having everybody, like a good approach for the individual.
I'm also going to give you an example that you might understand. It's the equivalent of being diagnosed with cancer and saying, actually, I don't want to do any chemotherapy or have any sort of like medical intervention. I just want surgery and I want you to take out the entire organ. Do you understand the difference in drastic measures?
Dan, but that's deflecting from the question, and we can prove.
I am explaining to you why you do therapy first.
Okay.
Which is the same reason why you do chemo before you do intensive surgery. Yes, but you understand what I'm talking about, yes?
I understand what you're saying, but we can prove, we can look at cancer and say that there is objective cancer right there. So it's not analogous.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Yeah, so how do they know that I have autism?
Again, if you want to talk about autism, that's fine. We can talk about autism. But
well,
we have
it's similarly mental condition where we understand that like it's like something that I have, like it's
a mental condition.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So it's a mental condition.
Yeah, in the sense that like it's a different.
Are you?
Well, yeah.
1 second.
Dysphoria.
Do you not understand that dysphoria is a mental condition?
Dysphoria is a mental condition.
Being transgender is not.
Just like autism, right?
Yeah.
Just like depression, right? And we can't prove that someone's depressed, but we have a baseline. Oh, okay.
Actually, it is neurobiological. But yeah.
Show me the depression gland or the depression measurement.
Actually,
it's not biological.
We can measure depression. We can measure things like brain activity. They're not going to absolutely say, "Hey, this person's definitely depressed," because we don't know what their baseline is.
Yeah, it's not because you have a double recessive gene that makes you depressed or have anxiety or ADHD or autistic or anything like that.
Although,
it takes testing. I mean, trust me, because I'm ADHD. I have a lot of friends that have tried to get on ADHD drugs because they wanted to get through college or whatever. And sure, medical providers will will do that, but they lose their license pretty quick. And when it comes to a transgender conversation, which is, there are similarities within the parameters of the medical field, meaning that there is therapy there. I mean, yes, there is therapy, because there has to be like a multiple party diagnosis to ensure that that it's not something that is what a lot of people like to call a phase or whatever, which is, I think, is insulting to somebody's own understanding of their own identity. But also, sorry. But it is such a multifaceted, multidimensional conversation with so many variables in it, that there isn't just a single way to diagnose anybody for any. I mean, there is no absolute with the human experience, period. Let alone when it comes to something like sexual identity, sexuality, or anything like that. That's why they try to put it on a scale, which even in and of itself is limiting. Sorry. Oh, what did I say?
No, internal sense of self. You were talking about sexuality.
Yeah. Sorry, is that the wrong word?
Good.
I'm new
You're
to
good.
the whole TikTok live thing. I'm trying to use
No.
proper language.
Oh,
You're good.
I don't give a shit.
Okay.
I don't think algorithm speak actually helps at all. You can say fuck shit.
It doesn't.
They don't care.
It's funny, you can't say the actual word for being unalived, but you can say that you can say, you know,
Suicide.
any swear word you want. It's funny.
I can say suicide.
No.
It's not going to restrict me as long as I'm not promoting it.
Okay, so back to one of the, and this is where I was getting at. And I understand how I came across like anti-trans, and I am 100% not anti-trans. But like there's this whole thing about like biologically men or women. Well, that's men and women are part of a gender identity, not a sexual identity. Like biological, yes, there are people that are XY, XX chromosomes, but there's also a whole plethora of gray area there that is not recognized and is not appreciated. There's women with XY chromosomes. There's men with there's people with both sets of genitalia. And so like, but in these circumstances, it's an identity. Like if I identify as a man or a woman, that's a sexual identity. That's an identity, a gender, I don't even think it's gender, because gender is masculine and feminine, but whatever. It's an identity. It's not about trying to say that. I mean, like the argument about kids and everything. It's like, do you really think that some kid is just going to walk into a doctor's office one day and say, and like wearing a skirt and a tube top, saying like, hey, Dr. Tilden, I'm not a boy, I'm a girl. Put me on meds, and they're just going to like shove hormones down their throat. It's not that similar. It's not simple. Sorry, not similar. Simple. It's not that simple. I mean, I know adults that have gone through years of counseling, medical therapy, and everything else. It's difficult enough on its own. And so when you say, and back to the question about therapy, what really pisses me off about that is that plenty of people that do not ever even walk past the hallway of gender dysphoria or anything else like that. I mean, most if not all adult humans, especially in this country, need to go out and find a counselor that is going to help them get through their day-to-day mental and emotional traumas, let alone the trauma that any kind of person of any kind of oppressed minority has to go through. So it's not as it is such a multifaceted situation. There are so many factors that go into a diagnosis, that go into actual treatment, that to come up and be like, well, like show me the depression gland is insulting to anybody that's ever had to deal with any kind of mental issues, aka depression or anxiety, let alone something that is so completely politicized and like villainized by a society. I mean, this whole thing is so stupid to me, because people that come onto these panels and oppose this position, you have every right to oppose it. But I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the truth of it. Like, the number one perpetrator for any kind of violence towards anybody is cisgendered straight men. Transgendered individuals that do not receive any kind of support are like, I think it's like 23 to 40% more likely to be the victim of a violent crime, and that is perpetrated like predominantly by cisgendered straight identifying men. We literally the villainization of the trans community is so misguided. When the actual perpetrators are cisgendered, straight identifying men. Where's the war against them? And yet people want to pick on literally less than 1% of the population for just trying to live their truth. It makes me sick. And if you're truly trying to understand the differences and truly trying to understand the science, first off, Google's free. And number two, maybe look at your fellow human being a bit. I don't have to understand your identity. I'm a gay man. I'm part of the alphabet mafia. I'm the first person to say that I don't have a full understanding of half of it. But that doesn't change my support of them, because I know so many trans people that have been so cool with me and so open with me and talked to me and answered any question that I asked. I know so many of them, and every single damn one of them, every single one of them, it makes 100% sense for who I know them as and who they want and who they are. And I mean, and it goes even further. It's like, just look like female to male trans person. Look at the images. Do you really want that? Do you really want that dude that is built like a brick shit house to be to be forced to use a female's the woman's restroom? Or how about this? Look up Candace Kane. I actually know this person personally. She's Candace Kane trans. Just Google that. Tell me for one fucking second that if you met that woman on the street that you would tell her, "Oh, I heard you're trans, so you're gonna go have to piss in the urinal." That I mean, there is no, and there are so many people just like that, and yet people that are getting their little butt hurt because somebody wants to just go take a shit. It's like, is that really the problem here? No, the problem is cisgendered, straight identifying white men.
Derek,
I'm
you
done.
can't change your sex.
We all agree
I didn't
with
say
this.
you could change the sex.
We all agree with this.
Female to male. You said female to male.
It's a colloquial
Hey,
term.
yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit of a misnomer,
Hey, yeah.
to be honest.
Male and female is biological sex. Man and woman is identity.
You said
there's
also-
a difference.
One sec.
You should
One
take
sec.
accountability for your misinformation.
One
Derek.
sec.
I'm way more educated on this than you are, dude.
I
Don't
have a
fuck with me.
question. I have a question for you.
Valid.
Because
You butt
if we're
in
talk-
every single time. Go ahead, please. Open panel
Okay.
for Valid.
Vatic. Because if you're going to talk about biology, we can talk about biology.
Then please
What-
go ahead. Jeez. Wrap it up,
Okay.
Valtic.
Wow.
So slow. Come on.
Mhm.
It's really entertaining when somebody shows their fragile masculinity with such abundance.
God forbid I be
Just-
disabled and have issues finding words for things I want to say.
Right.
Anyway,
What you're doing is stalling the conversation purposely.
I'm not. I'm
Please
really
No,
not.
Go
I
ahead.
don't think they are.
Anyway, what are the determining characteristics that scientists and doctors use to determine human sex and sexual biologically?
So doctors, biologists, and scientists, I believe,
Mhm.
use chromosomes,
Mm-hmm.
internal, external genitalia, hormone structures, and I think gametes or gonads.
I believe gametes are actually not on that list.
That would go for internal genitalia, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if you have testicles, you're already basically expected to be making sperm. If you don't, that's doesn't really matter.
And
'Cause,
oh, sorry.
Okay, Valak, please get to your point. I answered your question.
Right. So, to be clear, and I just checked just to make sure. It's chromosomes, gonads, hormones, internal reproductive anatomy, and external genitalia. So you do understand that any one of these can be flipped one way or the other, and the majority is what a doctor or scientist is going to consider you to be. Yes or no?
Yes, I understand
Okay.
that. I understand
Now-
the 3 out of 5 pressure, but
Okay.
you
Now,
still
which
have
one of How many of
Okay,
these
go
can be
ahead, Alex.
altered? How many of these can be altered?
I think 4 of them, actually.
hmm
Okay?
So you said you can't change your sex.
You cannot change your sex completely.
Well, hold on. So if we take actually, I think that you don't hold to that. Do you think that we have like a pretty good idea of like what a sex is going to be? Of a like if we could grab the genome out of out of like a like just immediately after fertilization.
Are you asking me that?
Yeah. Do you think that we could understand what sex like we would expect them to develop into? Because I would say
I
that we have a
think
pretty
that
good understanding of what would happen.
I don't know when we can, but at some point we can.
Well, I think that we can now actually. But we
Oh, neat.
actually like we actually know how to pull like actual like the chromosomes out of cells and inject new chromosomes in completely. And so like we could theoretically take a XY individual like the zygote, I think that's the technical name for it, and rip out all the DNA from them, put in new DNA or new genetics, and do like technically a full sex change.
hmm
It would if
We
you
can
if
do
you
that
would
to living humans. That's great. So what you're saying is, and you're going to double down on this. People can choose their own sex biologically.
Oh no, I
Correct?
think in terms of like once you're developed, I think it's a lot harder to do that kind of stuff. But
No,
yeah,
no, 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 no,
on
no,
a
no, no.
fundamental
Hey,
level,
ho. Can people choose their own sex, Vatic?
Oh my God.
I don't
When you're
think that they can
talking about
choose their
sex,
sex.
are you talking about the majority of the 5 categories I listed, or any one
I'm
particular
asking you.
category? To
I'm asking
clarify,
you specifically. Can people choose their own sex?
can people choose to change the majority of those characteristics? Yes, they can.
Okay, so in your opinion, you are saying
hmm
yes, people can choose their sex.
People can change the majority of those characteristics. That is what I am saying.
Okay.
Yes.
And if someone has 4 out of the 5, they would say we would consider them to be that sex, but we would
Yes.
also know that they're not fully that sex, correct?
No.
So 4 out of
Okay.
1 out of 4, right?
How many people do you think have intersex conditions that they have no idea about because they don't present with any distinctive symptoms?
I think that probably I think it's 94% of the population doesn't know.
Exactly.
Okay, so relevance, please, and then answer the question.
Relevance is that you don't even know all of those 5 categories are what all of those 5 categories are for any one individual. Why are you saying that all of those categories have to match up when that is absolutely not the criteria?
Never said that. Please answer the question.
What?
Answer
Sorry,
the question, please.
what's the question?
If someone has 4 out of 5, what condition is that called?
If someone has 4 out of 5, then they would be considered to be those 4.
Okay, so they would be those 4, but if
Yes.
someone was born with 4 out of 5, what
They
would they
would
be?
they would be those 4 at that point in time. Yes.
Okay, so we can change and we can choose our sex. According to you, right now, today, people are allowed to choose their sex. Because what
With
you're
medical
saying is,
intervention. Yes.
yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why it was so hard for you to say that people can choose their sex.
You can push towards
Because
the noting towards one more.
Yeah, and also
Thank
cheating
you.
and choosing are 2 different things that you've been flipping out this time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's kind of you can choose your biological sex is what you're saying.
You
And
can
there is nothing,
change.
according to the host, Okay, so I guess yes, we can hold someone down and we can change their sex as well, correct?
That'd
If we
be
really wanted to, that would
Or
immoral.
the same
that would
thing,
not be very moral, but yes.
or the same thing, someone can sign up for it and say, I want to change my sex. I am choosing to have the desire to change my sex.
You can't choose to have a desire like that.
I am choosing to commit this action.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So you are saying that people can choose their sex.
They
I'm
have to
saying.
go through therapy and all,
Okay.
like
So let me ask
rehab
you
though.
something.
One
If
second.
someone is female and identifies as a woman, what gender are they?
They're a woman
Okay.
because they're a woman. You just said
Okay.
woman.
Okay. If they identify as a woman and they are female, are they transgender or cisgender?
They would be cisgender because their
Thank you.
identification correlates.
Thank you. So we can choose our gender and we can choose our
No.
sex. I really appreciate that.
Okay,
See what I'm saying? You
I'm
can't
glad that we
prove
went down this
Vatic.
because
Vatic. You can't prove that
this is
if
Leader
people can
Vatic
choose.
speaking.
I actually can.
I really appreciate that.
Okay, I would disagree with Vatic for this reason. We don't choose the sex that we are born as.
That's
Doesn't
yeah.
matter.
Which I think is the important part, because being trans means that your gender identity does not align with the sex that you were assigned at birth.
Yes,
So
I do appreciate
even
that.
if you have chosen to change a lot of your sex characteristics, and you're still like, let's say this trans woman considers herself to be a female, they were still born male.
Considers.
They were born male.
Yes.
And that difference between what they were born as and identified as when they were born versus who they are today is what makes them trans.
Right. So trans people can also be born male and identify as male.
I mean, trans people can be any of the sexes. Like, it's not
Exactly.
just determinant
So
on
that's what
male
I'm
or-
saying.
But cis
Nah,
people can't
that's
be
what I'm saying.
trans.
We
Like,
took
I
a
don't
long
know
way
what
to-
you're getting at.
Yeah, but
We took
the
a
thing
long
is,
way to
cis
go
people.
around it.
Wait, hold up, friend. Cis people can also be correlative towards male and female. So can trans people. That's not relevant in any form of way.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. You can't prove it.
That's exactly. No.
You can't prove what?
You can't prove what we've just been talking about. I realize you've came in at the end of this, and I know that we have spoken before.
You're claiming. I have never spoken to you before. So you were
Okay.
claiming that sex can be you can choose your sex. No one can choose their sex. They can align
No,
their
I'm
characteristics
not
to align with the
claiming
sex. I'm still speaking.
I'm
They
not
can align
claiming
their.
that. You're wrong.
I'm not. I'm still
Thank you.
speaking.
You are
right?
incorrect in what
I'm
you're
still
saying.
speaking.
Why are you interrupting women? Shut up.
You are
Holy hell.
incorrect in what you're saying.
I'm still speaking. Anyways, what we can do is we can align the characteristics of someone's sex characteristics to align with the sex that they see themselves as, which would lead them more towards the sex side, towards changing their sex to what the opposite end where they see themselves, right? The issue with that, though, is we'd be going down a very dangerous slope of what is called trans medicalism, which is harmful because it's making the indication that trans people can only be trans if they are fully leaning towards their sex, right? We know that we can only change like 3 or 4 of the characteristics, right? And if you change those, it's by majority at that point. Then by default, majority would mean you are ipso facto that. The problem with that is that's very trans medicalist. Because
You're
not
right.
every transgender person undergoes through medical intervention or surgery. They just socially transition sometimes. So, not really understanding your point of argumentation here.
Okay, so thank you for saying all that. What you failed to understand at the beginning was that Vatic and the host believe that people can choose their sex and change their sex. I disagree with that.
I don't think they said that whatsoever.
I don't
No,
think
I-
you
they,
can
I don't think they said that
choose.
whatsoever.
I wrote it
Yep.
down. I wrote
Yep.
it down, Kiza.
Yep.
Okay, well, if you
Yeah,
write it
no
down
one's- no one-
incorrectly,
To be
The-
one
The
second.
thing is here, right? No one chooses anything.
1 second.
It's
Can
not
I,
a choice. No one willingly joins this community.
Can I make it clear? Can I make it clear?
Source, please.
I have multiple times stated that you can choose to change any one of those characteristics to lean toward the other side. That is what I have said over and over, which lines up exactly with what Kiza is saying.
I would maybe use different wording than choose, but I understand what you're going with. The
I
reason
mean,
why I would use
like-
different wording, right? Hold on. So the reason why I would
Choose to
use
take
different
the
wording
action.
than choosing. No, I understand. The reason why I
Thank
would
you.
say
I
use
gotta
different
go.
wording than choose, is because it'll confuse the individual, such as this person who believes that you were claiming that you can choose when you can't. I don't disagree.
Well, he was trying to simplify it to the base component, which I was not letting him do, and he was getting pissed at it.
did
Yeah,
he
no,
run because of
he-
plain and gender?
I think he got upset because I just derailed his whole conversation. Like I,
I
just
mean,
pulled
thank
it
you.
apart piece by piece and
Thank you
explained to
so
him
much.
why he was a moron. On top of that, I do want to correct some
was.
misinformation because I believe I
Mhm.
heard something, and you can correct me if I heard it incorrectly here. But doctors don't go by a majority. Doctors go by one factor only,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
which would be the phenotypical presentation, because all they're seeing is the penile area or the vaginal area. That is how they
Correction.
determine if someone is male or female. They don't look at the chromosomal, they don't look at the internal, unless there's like some medical intervention that needs to be had, where it's like internal testes or internal ova that might need to be looked at. But that's very, very rare. And they don't look at neurological sex or anything like that. All they look at is the phenotypical presentation.
Yeah, they just say that thing has a penis, or that person has a penis, or not.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Or,
think
like,
they go
sex
by like
determination.
size of it.
I was mostly referring
Yeah, I think they go by
to
size of
science.
it. I think if it's like over
Yes,
an inch
they
or something
do.
like that, then it's determined a
Uh-huh.
male. If it's under, then it's determined female.
No. There's an area on the scale that says ambiguous as well.
I think that if it's like if they are sorry, Ashlyn said something not me scrolling hearing hearing what I just said. That thing has
Also,
a
Kiza, wonderful to meet you. If we have not met, you seem so cool. Thank you. I was mostly referring to scientists when I made that statement.
Oh, okay, I thought I heard you say doctors go by the
I-
primary because
I
they
think-
definitely don't.
I think I did, but I said like I think I meant ideally. Realistically, like unless there's something significantly wrong, most people don't know their categories at all.
I think another thing at hand here, right, is that individual is a GC wannabe, right? And
Oh,
they're
absolutely.
also a GC as a whole. And we understand that GCs go by one distinctive factor when it comes to trans people, and they usually go by the distinctive factor of denote. But they don't have an understanding of what denote actually means, and it can't be used definitively within the definition that they're trying to use it as
kind
in
of
pertaining
vague
to an
words.
individual. Yeah, in pertaining to an individual that has like of or denoting the sex that can produce large gametes or small gametes, right?
Mhm.
You can't use that in the terminology or the definition that they're trying to use it as, because it then becomes a begging the question fallacy. That tends to be what they end up doing afterwards. After you like deconstruct the fact that, oh well, it's not prescriptive, it's descriptive, and it operates as a blueprint of what's typical, not what's always. Because
Yeah.
there are individuals that meet the atypical situation. So then they crash out and they'd be like, okay, what are the factors that make someone a woman? Which is where the begging the question fallacy comes from.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could
Because we're
just
gonna
hold
ask
them
us question.
to. You could just hold them to appeal to definition fallacy if they just exclude the idea that this definition of what a woman is can change over time. That's what I like
Yeah.
to go down, because you don't have to go through this whole roller coaster of what the fuck is sex and yada yada yada. Like I'm just like, let's just cut out all the bullshit.
Yeah, because
Yep.
like a lot of the times what will end up happening is once we get through the breakdown of the definition as a whole, and they realize that what they're saying is incorrect with using the definition, Then they'll ask us a question that we often ask that backs up our presentation and our argument as a whole. They'll start to use the question of, well, how do you determine that someone's a woman? Right? That is considered a begging the question fallacy, which is a logical fallacy in itself, where it does not provide any benefit on their side, but only provides benefit on our side, and it's pointless for us to answer the question because we already know the answer to the question. There's only one logical thing that makes an individual a man and a woman, which would be the individual grew up as a child, which would be a boy or girl. Sorry, I have a drink that's like stuck in my throat in the wrong pipe. And then they grow up into an adult, which is like around the age 18, right? Legally an adult. I don't fucking agree with those numbers, but whatever. Grew up an adult at age 18 and now they're an adult. So now that would be a man and a woman. Those would be the necessary quantities, right? Because that's not met with any exception in any case. Because we know that a boy goes to a man and a girl goes to a woman, right? When they grow up, typically.
I don't like Gesso.
I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, no, the arguments always break apart. And generally when you break apart their argument as a whole, what will end up happening is they run away, like that person did.
Yep. No way. When their argument's left in shambles on the floor and they're looking down on it, they run.
Oh, and they always want to simplify everything to its base components because they think it sounds more ridiculous that way. God forbid I say the definition that a woman is a person whose core sense of identity aligns with the societal definition of femininity.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the context of the situation.
I've also been wanting to get more into the philosophy of like when it's fine to have like circularity with an argument or like a definition, and like that actually, like if you're saying that like a woman is somebody who identifies as a woman, it actually leads to like a stable understanding of what a woman is within a society.
Yeah, pretty much.
You have to like already like agree that a woman can be, you know, somebody who identifies as a woman. Like it wouldn't lead to the definition becoming meaningless.
I will also say, from the way that I like to understand societal gender is like, you know those tinted glasses? You still see everything the same way, but it's tinted toward a certain, like, thing. So I find that if a person looks at someone and perceives them as a specific gender, they will associate any characteristics that they have with that gender, whether it is conforming or not. They would be considered part of that category. That doesn't necessarily mean that they conform to any one specific expectation. It means that they are perceived to be conforming or non-conforming to that category. It's like putting people in bubbles and then they don't fit, like, you don't have to fit in the bubble, people are still going to put you in the bubble. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Were you asking the question?
Yeah, I was asking if that made sense.
Oh.
I think it makes sense.
No, that makes sense. Yeah,
Okay.
it makes sense.
Okay, good. Because, like, honestly, because misogyny. I'm answering Donnie because misogyny. To an
The thing is,
extent.
I don't think
To an extent.
everyone would put us with labeling because I hate labels in itself. But unfortunately, we have to have the understanding of labels to better understand each individual person, such as like minority individuals that are being oppressed, right? Women, LGBTQ, Black people,
I
so on
would
and so
say,
forth.
sorry. I would say societally, society prefers labels to uphold the standards that they have set for those specific groups. Labels are meant to be restrictive, societally. At least from my perspective when it comes to things like misogyny and gender labels.
Yeah.
Like as societal groups, not necessarily as individuals, to be clear.
Right.
Which is why everybody's so like insistent on holding up the binary. Because if they don't do that, then their whole misogynistic ideas fall apart immediately. And they're like, oh no, how can we be misogynistic when they're no binary? What do? Anyway.
Hi, can I
Damn.
get your age and pronouns, please?
Oh shoot, sorry. I'm Kaya. Oh,
Mhm.
pronouns she, her, and I'm 18.
Do you disagree with the prompt, or?
I'm a little bit confused as what do you mean by like transgender health. Keep in mind, I'm not very educated on this. I like stay out of all these debates usually. But by transgender healthcare, do you mean like the surgeries for the gender affirming thing?
Yeah, like
Not just surgery.
Yeah, it's not just surgery. There's
Not just
medications,
surgery.
other
Okay, sorry.
things like that. But yeah.
That would be a form of healthcare.
But wait, like I'm a little bit confused as to how that makes sense because it's like an appearance thing or like it's not something that they need. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
No,
leads to
you
better
would be
life outcomes.
You would be wrong.
It is needed.
Yeah,
May
you
I-
would be extremely wrong. Because
may
it's
I-
used
may-
medically necessary.
Yes. May I explain? May I explain why?
Yeah, of course.
So basically, gender affirming care is considered to be medically, and I'm talking about medically. Kiza is right in, yeah. Basically, it is considered to be a treatment for gender dysphoria, which is oh my god, wow, my words are not working. Which is a condition that describes itself as a negative that it's a condition that causes significant distress or impairment in function associated with one's incongruence of gender with their sexual characteristics. Basically. So it can be things like life-threatening. This is why the best the recommendations from basically any major health organization are there needs to be some sort of gender affirming care, whether that be like hormonal surgery. It doesn't even have to be medical, but when we're talking about gender affirming care, we're talking about things like hormones and surgery.
Well, it could go a little bit, like it can be delved into a little bit more than that, right? Like, so gender affirming care can be simply put like makeup, nails, hair, all that kind of stuff, right? It doesn't have to just be medical implementation. It can be socially implemented as well.
Yeah, but when we're talking about specifically transgender healthcare, we're talking about
Well, yeah, when we
medical
go into
intervention.
healthcare, it can be many things. It can be the aspects of getting us to HRT and surgeries if need be. But again, that is all dependent on based on the aspect of like how far into
So-
gender dysphoria they have, which is usually determined through a process known as the W path if they're going under for the aspect of surgery itself. If they're getting HRT, then it is through a psychological process of talking to a doctor for an undergoing amount of time that can be anywhere between a year and more for persistency, consistency, and inconsistency of one sense of self. All three of those things need to be accounted for. If they are not, then the individual's not transgender and they don't get access to HRT.
And also the WPATH and the Endocrine Society both have the guidelines for HRT as well. But yeah, so I hope that answers your question that transgender healthcare, specifically HRT, not HRT, gender affirming care is considered a treatment for a diagnosis.
Wait, so like not you like specifically, but like people want free gender affirming care or like free healthcare.
Nothing on the background says free.
No.
Nothing on
I'm
the
sorry, I
background
was just
says
trying to-
free. Also, it's not paid for. It's never been paid for.
Yeah,
It's
so
never been
Well,
paid for.
that depends.
I would hope
No,
that like
I'm sorry,
we
I didn't mean
should-
like that.
We should at least be like from like a politics point of view, like we should at least be consistent on what's covered and what's not.
Yeah, that's true. I
Yeah.
agree. That's what I was trying to say. Like
what
when
I would
it's,
say, but
Like, let me bring something to your attention real quick. You're 18. I don't imagine that you've ever gotten breast augmentation, but I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the process of what it would be like. Well, first off, you were born female, yes?
Yes.
And you see yourself as a woman?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you're a cis woman. So I'm going to go ahead and let you know what the process of you being a cis woman would be like, getting breast augmentation versus what it'll be like for a trans woman. So for a cis woman, going into the plastic surgeon's office and asking them for breast augmentation, what they're going to do is they're going to pull you into a consultation, and they're going to go through the process of marking you and letting you know your breast could look like this, X, Y, and B. You choose which one you want, and then done. You have nothing else at that point. They don't tell you about any risks. They don't tell you about anything that could happen. They don't tell you about the potential of silicone poisoning. They tell you nothing. They just take your money, go on your day, they send you out the door, and then you go back in to go get the treatment done, and then you get that done, right? This is what it's like
Assuming
for a trans
this is
woman.
self-pay.
Right. Here's what it's like for a trans woman. Trans woman goes in there, says that they want these things. They then have to provide proof that lines up with the WPATH, with the criteria of being 18 plus, having the income cost to pay for it, having 2 medically signed doctor's notes from a psychiatrist and a medical professional, or their PCP usually, that says you're of sound mind and body to get said surgery. And there's other things too, right? You need all 3 of those things, or all those things as a whole. There's a whole list of things. If you look up the WPATH, it's very extensive as to the criteria itself. But then on top of that, the doctor is going to give you all this information about the potential harms and risks that can go on through getting top surgery. And they're going to go into full detail about silicone poisoning, which is when someone gets silicone into their body, because that's what it is with implants, it's silicone. You can be affected by that in a negative fucking way.
Yeah, for sure.
And they go into full extensive detail about it, so much so that it's used as fear-mongering tactics to get the trans woman not to get said surgery. So it's almost ridiculous in my mindset that a trans woman, when they're going to get surgery or top surgery in any format, right, they're told about all the risks, all the harm, everything that can happen, and they're still ready to do it because they're aware of all these issues. However, cis women are not told these issues. In fact, we have many statistical facts of individuals that get said surgeries and actually have negative interactions with it and being upset with it because they were never told about these things that could happen within these risk factors. But trans women are well aware of it, and that's why they go through with it. And that's why they have a less than 2% regret rate for like surgical implantancies with trans people. But cis people, it is higher because they're not told about these risks. They were not aware of what they were signing up for. They just signed for it.
Sorry for the noise. I'm looking up regret rate for hip replacement.
I think it's over 50%.
It depends on what you're looking at, but like it's quite large compared to like regret rates of gender affirming care.
Yeah, so roughly 5 to 20% of patients may remain dissatisfied with their results due to persistent pain or complications.
Like the highest that I've seen in a peer-reviewed published paper looking at the outcomes of gender affirming care, like from I think the 90s to 2017 was 3.4%, but most of them stick around 0.3 to 0.6% for gender affirming care. And most of the times when it's higher,
a lot less.
Yeah, and
So-
this would only be a lot of times when it's like higher than that, it's because they're including external factors like, hey, other people aren't as like excited for this as me. And that kind of stuff. Like it's not because they think that the surgery was wrong for them or that what they did was wrong for them. It's because others think that it's wrong for them. And they're like shoving it down their throats. Like this is the number one like reason why people regret is external factors. It's not internal. It's not, this is not me. It's other people hate me for who I am, which is like par for the course for trans people, sadly, but at least it's consistent.
Right. So the reason why I went into this, right, is because I think it's really baffling that trans people get all this information about what harm they're going to be put through and this, that, and the other, in almost fear-mongering way. But cisgender individuals aren't given this information. So in my personal opinion, if not for one, why not all?
Yeah. I can give another example of she's gone, but whatever. I literally just Googled acquiring TRT for cis men. This is, by the way, the same medication, testosterone. Literally exactly the same. It's just different dosage. I Googled acquiring TRT for cis men, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different websites immediately that you can go to where you can request a TRT prescription without really seeing a doctor. You want to know what the requirement is for a transgender person to get testosterone, which, by the way, TRT is not fully medically necessary, to be clear.
No, a lot of times it's just like preference, it seems.
Yes, a lot of TRT is for things that do not significantly impact someone's life in a negative way. So, you want to know what... So, if I were a cis man and I went to a website and I wanted to get TRT, what I would probably do would be to have a video visit with a doctor. Maybe my testosterone would get tested, hopefully. And then they would probably say, yeah, here's a prescription for a controlled substance, by the way. And I would go out and I would get the testosterone. You want to know what the process is for acquiring testosterone as a trans person? Because it's not that. What? Testosterone replacement therapy for cis men?
Oh yeah, also like websites like Hems too. They make it like really easy, which is like a good thing in some regards. Like it's good that we can offer people like medical stuff that would help their lives be more beneficial. But it should be for all people, not just cisgender folks.
Exactly. I'm pointing out that there is a weird like disparity when it comes to elective procedures for cis people that are considered medically necessary for trans people. And trans people are not getting those medical... Bruh, can you leave?
Yeah, I just...
Sorry,
I just want to say...
Yapping. What? What's up?
Yeah, no, that's going to happen. They're going to hear something that you say that agrees with them, even though they're not really listening.
Yeah.
So I just want to say though, when it comes to the pertains of like HRT as a whole and whatnot, when it's being banned for adults, because that's being called into question here, is it being banned in general for adults as a whole. I think people need to have the understanding that this does also get rid of TRT.
Yeah. But in reality, practically, it probably won't.
So cisgender men who have lower doses of a testosterone in their body, where they need to get a testosterone hormone for themselves to re-up their testosterone levels so that they are not imbalanced, that's being removed.
Wow, really?
Women that are going through menopause and need to have estrogen within their body because they're at an imbalance, that is also being removed. All because you wanted to go after trans people. So this is the thing that happens, right? Is that oftentimes people don't realize when they're attacking one person, they don't realize that they're attacking everybody. This is not just going to affect trans people. And I promise you, we'll figure something out for ourselves and we'll make it work one way or another, because we always have since the beginning of fucking time. But cis people, you fucked yourself. Hardcore.
Wait, how did I do
that? I really have to point out that the majority of like gender affirming care is used by cis people and was made for cis people. Gender affirming surgery was actually specifically things like was it phalloplasty or vaginoplasty? I think it was phalloplasty. Was originally made for veterans whose like genitalia had been destroyed in
You can
war.
say penis. That's fine.
I don't wanna.
Oh. Yeah, I was about to say I have completely stopped doing
I don't feel like
algorithm speak because like
You're good.
I've noticed that it doesn't actually affect anything. Actually, my viewership has gone up since I've stopped saying
Yeah.
like if I want to talk about suicide, I'm just gonna say suicide. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
fair.
like you have to be careful like not to promote it, but otherwise,
Mhm.
the algorithm doesn't
But
really seem
just
to take it hard.
yeah.
So
But just
The
to
thing
be
is, TikTok
clear,
is very medical friendly, so penis and
Mhm.
vagina are allowed. They have always been allowed.
Yeah.
we can talk about genitals and they don't care. Wow. No.
it is gender affirming care. It's just not medical. Yeah, putting anything that affirms your gender, whether cis or trans, is considered gender affirming care. Hate to tell you. I don't. I don't hate to tell you. But yeah, fun fact, apparently I've had Yep blocked from before this, which means that I've talked to this person before.
Yep has
Like
never come
verbally.
up before.
Well,
Over like
apparently they've come up somewhere else. They've come up somewhere else.
the person I will never see up as you can't answer. They don't even like respond to basic questions.
Damn, they can't answer, can they?
No. See what you did there.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna end stream though because I have stuff to do. I have to set up.
Wonderful to meet you.
analytics. Yeah. I
Thank you,
give you a
Kisa, by the
follow.
way. You seem really cool.
Kisa
You both
is
are
Pog.
pretty cool.
Pog champ.
Hell yeah. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Okay, what's the
I'm
question?
canceling you for that.
How dare you?
Oh, I'm gonna go cry in a quarter now.
Oh. Pat, if you would like.
What am I, an
Alright,
animal?
you have a.
No.
I mean,
I mean, technically, yeah.
pointing at the Stoat profile picture. Alright.
All right.
You have a good day.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.